Thomas, put your dick away.
Sorry.
Thomas, stop hissing!
Sorry.
Ah! Ah!
Oh. Okay, it's away.
Okay. Phew! Crisis averted.
Yeah, I almost...
The world is safe once more.
Yeah. Now I'm hard from seeing your dick. What the fuck, man?
Sorry. Hey, Joe, put your dick away.
Joe, stop this!
You know what? You keep telling me to stop pissing. I'm gonna start shitting to spite you.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Screen Weens, the only podcast
where they put their weens on screen.
you just can't see it.
Yeah, it's just an audio screen.
Just all day long, our penises are on the screen.
Yep.
Hey, it's me, it's Thomas, and of course we have Joe joining us this week.
I'm Joe.
Surprise, surprise.
Of course, as always, London.
It's me, London.
It's me, Thomas, though.
It's me, London.
Okay.
And it's me, Thomas.
Oh,
and today,
I'm E10,
it's London and Thomas, E10 and Joe.
Yes.
The four of us are back.
You know, I was really worried when I heard you develop split personality disorder. I was very fearful for you.
Yeah, see, it was Thomas who gave the Joker a 6 eventually, but it was E10 who initially gave the Joker an 8.
Okay.
So...
Because you're the Joker.
So you and E10 have different movie tastes, then?
Yes, he's my shittier movie taste. So
okay.
While me, Thomas, I'm a bit more of a pretentious prick, so...
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Got him.
Ayo.
That was a real epic move.
Yeah, so I watched a good few movies this week.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and let us know what you watched, Thomas.
Let me...
I don't, even though I know all of them.
Do you have them memorized? Because I know all of them too, but I don't have them memorized.
You watched Little Women.
I did. Which
1994 with Winona Ryder. Christian Bale's also in it.
He is. Sigourney
Weaver. Who's the brother?
No, it's not Sigourney Weaver. It's I can never remember her name. Let me look real quick. Oh, Susan Sarandon.
Yes. Oh. That's what I meant.
Yes. They both have S's.
And you thought it was epic as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the filmmaking was, like, serviceable. Like, there wasn't anything, like, super great about, like, the, like, on-screen filmmaking techniques. Like, it didn't, like, particularly look good, or there weren't any interesting shots or anything like that. But all of the character writing was really good. It had a really good script and a really good performance from Winona Ryder specifically. So.
I should be getting my copy of the book by tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I bought paperback copies of all 3 of them, and they've got, like, the original images in them. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, is there a trilogy?
Yeah, after Little Women, she wrote Little Men and Joe's Boys. So...
It's actually about my children.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for you to have kids and then, like, drown them in the bathtub.
Ooh, you're gonna be waiting for a long time because I don't plan on having kids.
And even if you do, you probably won't tell me because you'll just
drown them in the bathtub immediately.
Well, no, I'd be sacrificing them to my Lord and Savior E10.
Oh,
come on! I'm not so tasteless that I would just drown my own children just for the meme of it.
I don't know.
Okay,
it would have purpose if I were to kill my own children.
Whatever you say.
Thomas also watched the 1922.
It's like 1919 was the date on Amazon.
One of the first adaptations of Little Women.
Yeah, and that one was weird because
it had a dishwasher ad.
Yeah, you could tell it was like serialized over like different like dates, and they had like intermission ads, so it felt like it was like a mini series essentially. But
it was only like an hour.
It was just that last chunk of the novel from like where Well, I don't want to spoil anything if Joe hasn't seen any version of it. But
I have not.
right around like the New York area of the book.
Whoa, they go to New York? That's just spoiler?
Whoa! Kind of. You'll see. So yeah, to the end. And it's like an hour, so it's like...
And it's amazing.
It's alright. It worked. I liked the ad. It took me off guard. I was laughing at it.
Was it a good ad for a dishwasher?
No. It was like one of those ads where it's like, remember, we're the only trustworthy dishwasher company out there, so... Yeah.
And then it showed them, like, having someone inside the dishwasher. They went, it's perfectly safe!
Oh no, it was like some, like, early 20s housewife.
Man. Okay. Thomas also watched, the Meyerowitz stories.
Yes.
The Noah Baumbach film. I believe that was his first movie he did for Netflix. His second being Marriage Story, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Thomas thought it was epic as hell.
I did. I really enjoyed it.
Adam Sandler's great. More so, Ben Stiller's really good in that movie.
Yeah, both Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler are really good dramatic actors. Ben Stiller embraces it a lot more than Adam Sandler does. He's got like a lot more dramatic roles. It's kind of what he's been doing in his
Quite a lot with Noah Baumbach.
Yeah, he's done a few Noah Baumbach.
While We're Young, Greenberg. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen either of those two. I just went and bought a bunch of them on DVD though, so that'll be cool when they
The only Noah Baumbach movie I've seen is Marriage Story.
It's probably his best one from what I've seen, but I've only
It's my favorite, personally. I think it's that and then Francis Ha, and then maybe Meyerowitz. And then the rest that I've seen are kind of muddled.
I'm gonna watch Francis Ha last. So I'm gonna like power through like all of his other films and save that just in case I don't like his other movies because they're earlier works of his. So that way I'll have that like one solid film that I know will probably be pretty good and I'll like.
Nice.
But I'm excited. The next one I think I'm gonna watch is The Squid and the Whale.
That's the first one I saw before. I want to rewatch it now that I'm like. I know more about Noah Baumbach, because I watched it without knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
I think I was like 18 when I watched it.
Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like Jeff Daniels.
I remember him being really good in it.
And it'll be interesting to see like a pre-Zombieland Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, true. True.
But yeah, let me see, because I watched quite a bit.
You watched Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties?
No.
What? You promised.
Okay, so I watched The Mustache and Bedeviled with you guys.
Yep.
I gave The Mustache a 5. I think I might bump it up to a 6. I enjoyed it. I thought it was enjoyable. A fun little movie.
Epic.
Interesting little concept.
I think I also gave the La Mustache a 6. Yes. Yeah, I did. I gave it a 6.
The Mustache.
It's such a dumb movie, but it, like, worked in the context of what it was doing, of, like, this guy just, like, lost touch with reality or reality lost touch with him.
Yeah. It's a nice little, like, magic realism piece, like, because it never, like, overly explains anything. You're just along with the trip with the main character.
And it doesn't outstay its welcome.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
No, it doesn't.
Then Bedeviled, I thought was pretty shit, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was. I think I rated it lower than you.
Yeah, I'm
liked
gonna
it.
Rate it lower.
I liked a lot of the gore. I thought a lot of the gore effects were really good. Thinking back on it more, I should realistically drop it. Drop.
Stick to your ideals.
Yeah, just don't let your opinion sway.
I mean, I'm not letting your opinion sway you. It's more on, man, there was a lot in, like, the first chunk of the movie that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And
it was really slow, and I remember, like, nodding off thinking the movie was, like, over, and then I woke up what felt like a half an hour later, and it was, like, suddenly a, like, full-on slasher movie, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Personally, I kind of like that. But, like, also, like, the main character from Soul. What is her name?
Oh, I don't remember.
E10.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Thing was Kim Bok-nam. Yeah, she kind of stays the same shitty person throughout the entire ordeal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like after experiencing that, you would be a different person, at least a little bit. And I'm just like, oh, cool. And then like a lot of the antagonistic characters were kind of shallow, but also like, I don't know, I could enjoy a very basic bare bones revenge story of like, these people are shitty. This person's gonna kill them all because she's tired of being treated like dirt. And I'm like, I can get behind that. You know, as like a very simple journey into just watching people get fucking brutally murdered. I can dig it.
I get what you mean. I've just personally seen like a lot of those types of movies, so it's a little tired for me at this point.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then my next movie was the first movie that Sidney Poitier ever directed.
Ooh.
Buck and
the Preacher.
Yeah, and you thought it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't think it was very good. It's a Western. It's I'm assuming it's pretty progressive for the time, seeing as it's got like predominantly like black cast and it focuses on that.
I mean, Sidney Poitier has always been really, really progressive for his time.
Yeah, he has. So that was a neat aspect to it, but it was just not very good movie.
Okay.
So I think I gave it a 4. It might be more deserving of a 5. It's just kind of like cut and dry.
As you said, Thomas, stick to your ideals and I will mine.
Sorry, E10 interferes with my scale a little bit.
Gotcha.
Then I watched The Ape. That was terrible. Not enough ape. It was all Boris Karloff yelling at this, like...
You like Boris Karloff.
I do like Boris Karloff, but that was a bad movie. Then I watched this pretty good movie from 1979 called Blackjack. It's like an old novel, like in the public domain, but apparently this movie was like one of the big inspirations for Wes Anderson when he was making Moonrise Kingdom, which I could see. I thought it was pretty good. Then I watched both Ringu, however you pronounce it, and The Ring. Yeah, I thought...
I see you definitely did not love it as much as London loved Ringu.
I did not, but I thought it was a very well-crafted horror movie for the most part.
Okay.
I have my gripes with it, but I mean, I think it's one of like the better horror movies I've seen. Because generally, I tend not to rate horror very high because a lot of it's kind of just like taps the surface, you know.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff I really liked about it. Particularly, there's this shot towards the end of the movie where a little minor spoiler, kind of. But they're like, they find the body in the well and like the head kind of like has like water from the well like coming out of like the eyes. I thought that shot was really nice. And then they did the same thing but with CG in the remake.
God, the CG looks so good.
Yeah.
That shot was so beautiful in Ringu.
Yeah.
There's some really good cinematography in the...
There is. I like it. There's like another shot where they're like sitting on that rocky beach and they're like looking at the ocean, but you don't see the horizon line. It's just like so far above their heads. And it does like a really good job at like kind of like putting you in the character's place because they're dealing with like this huge crisis and it's like supernatural and just completely like out of their control, it feels like.
I hate the freaking remake.
I didn't hate it.
I like watching it. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
I honestly didn't think it was like too much worse. Like I didn't think it was like very bad. But I think it's definitely a lot weaker than the original was. Then I watched the 2 versions of Little Women. I watched The King of Comedy and then The Joker.
Was that the first time you watched The King of Comedy?
Yes, it was.
How was it?
It was fucking great.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
I've been meaning to watch that.
It's like Joker if it were well directed.
It's like Joker's just like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
Fused with a Batman skin on it.
That's what I've heard.
A Joker. Then I watched, just the Meyerowitz stories, which we already briefly talked about, and then Mulholland Drive, Man Escaped, and Pickpocket.
Pickpocket.
Yes.
Cool. Joe, did you watch anything by yourself, I guess? Or with me?
No, pretty much all movies.
You watched your anime.
Yeah, I did do some catching up on some anime this last week.
What anime?
Neko Para.
Yep. Oh,
I don't know what that is. I've been out of the anime loop for a little while.
Slice of life with cat girls.
You
probably have maybe heard of it. It caused a lot of hubbub when it was originally a visual novel when it got ported to Steam, because it was the first visual novel to have any sort of pornographic content on it.
Okay.
So that kickstarted a lot of conversation. It's bad. It's very bad. There's a lot of subtext that I really do not like. It very much objectifies women, over-sexualizes women in the worst ways, especially seen as, I'm guessing, the ages skew lower, which, disgusting.
Yeah.
But, me and Pierre had a really fun time discussing the ethics of being a cat girl in that society.
Okay.
And, like, I wouldn't even, like, entertain the thought normally, but, like, there was a bit of dialogue where, like, our two main characters are, like, on a train, and this little girl's like, well, look, cat girls, and her mom's like, yep, they have bells on, they're allowed to be out without their masters, and I just kind of went, wait, hold up. So are they not, like, it just jumpstarted this entire, like, back and forth, and me and Pierre talking these questions of, like, so, like, are they people? Do they make money? What do they spend food on? Is there, like, a racial divide between cat people, assumingly there's cat boys, or is it just cat girls? How did they get into this world? Were they man-made? Was it natural evolution?
So they don't show any...
Like, there is none of that conversation in any of the episodes so far. Probably throughout the entire...
How many episodes are out?
Only one so far.
Oh, okay. I was
but, like, that little tidbit opened the door for me and Pierre to just wonder about it. And I've had a lot of fun thinking about these things that will never get answered or touched on or even gleaned. But it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's very, very bad.
It doesn't sound like the type of show I would watch.
It's not the type of show I would normally watch, but
but I get for the meme of it.
It was definitely for the meme, because one night I got very drunk with everybody, and I was like, guys, there are 2 OVAs in Necopar, we should watch it, ironically, and I hated them. I was also really sad because with the TV anime, they replaced a lot of the original cast from the OVAs, which is sad, because the voice cast in the original OVAs have primarily done hentai. And I'm just like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, apart from that, I finished up watching all of Fire Force. I like Fire Force, it's pretty good. I have some issues with it, but it looks fucking beautiful. It sounds fucking beautiful. The fight has so much kinetic energy, and I love it.
Okay.
Story's a little lacking. I really, really like the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of the pieces and players that are in it. And then I caught up on My Hero, and oh no.
Dip in quality?
Visually it dipped in quality, directing it dipped in quality, and the rest of it's fine, which is really sad because it's covering my favorite arc from the manga. And I'm just like, don't fuck this up, Studio Bones.
That's the fucked thing about being a manga reader.
Yeah.
Cause like, when you just watch the anime, you're like, yeah, this is awesome. I have no problems with this. But as soon as like you start seeing the manga's art, and you'll see like they'll derp up one of your favorite like frames from the manga, and you'll see like, oh, this really scene, the small scene that had a lot of nuance in the manga, is just like a plain Jane presentation, no spark to it in the anime. It's a big problem. That's why I'm like primarily a manga reader.
And like, I didn't realize how much of like that arc is taken up in like building up characters with flashbacks, which is fine. There was an episode where they executed it on really, really well.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, it's just like, okay, we have a bit of action, it's really climbing, the pacing is wanting to go further, but we're going to rail that and do 5 minutes of flashback on this character.
Yeah, flashbacks and manga are usually pretty short and sweet, but in animes, oh my god.
It ruins it.
7-episode long flashback.
Yeah, and then one of the highlights of it, they showed it via a literal slideshow.
Oh.
And I'm just like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when it hits its highs, it's good. It was always going to hit its highs really well. But I'm just mainly disappointed.
Yeah.
It just... I think it's the lowest rated season of My Hero that I've seen, or I've rated so far. Because I think I rated season 1 and 8, and then 2 and 3 10s.
Yeah, I watched the, like, first 2 seasons, or the majority of the first 2 seasons. I kind of, like, trickled out once I got to, like, the fillerish bits of the end of season 2. But I went back not too long ago, and I read a bunch of it in the manga, and basically, like, got a little past where I got in the anime.
Okay.
And then I took a break, but I plan on, like, just picking back up from where I left off here pretty soon. The last full arc I saw was, like, the one where Bakugo and Midoriya fight all in that little thing. And now Midoriya is, like, watching other contestants fight their teachers. But,
okay.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
Okay.
But, yeah.
No, I mean, and apart from that, I haven't watched anything else. Me and London watched a bunch of movies together, because I pretty much only watch movies in the context of London these days.
It's like I have a void, and I open it and let people in, and there's a little TV playing inside of it.
Ah, yes.
The void is my ass.
Oh.
And the TV is a metaphor for his dick?
No, my prostate.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And you just watch my prostate.
Make sure it's all right.
And me, what have I watched?
Yes, what have you watched?
And by subsequent context, what have I watched?
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at what I've watched. So I finished the Grudge series.
Oh, nice.
I'm fucking done with it.
Have you watched
I haven't watched Sadako vs. Kayako yet.
Okay.
Because I want to watch all the Ring movies first.
Oh, yeah.
Grudge is garbage. Anyone that ever recommends it to me, I'm gonna go, you're a fucking liar. It's a terrible series.
Yeah.
There was one movie I rated above a 5, and most were rated like a 2.
Oof.
Like, that's one of the worst series I've ever seen. And I've watched 6 Puppet Master movies.
Yeah, that speaks volumes.
I rewatched The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, very good movie.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's actually a little short for what it's trying to do. I think that, like, for 3 hours, I think that it doesn't spend enough time in the first section. I think, like, another, like, half hour would have evened out the film more.
No, I remember watching it and thinking that maybe not like the whole ending, but like the very, very ending was very like snap.
Yeah, I think the very, very ending, and I think the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm like, come on! But the middle section's fantastic. It's a fun film.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it, because me and a buddy wanted to watch it, and we pulled everyone else in, because I'd only seen like the first hour-ish of the movie in college, but I apparently rated it on Letterboxd, even though, I don't know. And I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no,
I really enjoyed it.
Very fun, very fast, very it's pretty different from a lot of his movies. Like, it feels like a Martin Scorsese movie, but it's got just a much more like manic energy to it.
Yeah. Which I kind of like, because literally every character was doing drugs on screen.
Yes.
Like, anytime
Martin Scorsese.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime a character was on screen, you best know they were popping lewds or doing lines of coke or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, like, anywhere near the top of Scorsese's catalog.
No,
but it's, like, and I don't think it's really gonna be, like, remembered as anything, like, special in his catalog.
I think
it'll be remembered as, like, a fun film.
Yeah, I think it'll be, like, towards, like, the top end of his catalog.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess I think I've only seen, like, 5 Scorsese.
Yeah, because he's
this
directed
my
a
first,
lot of movies.
This is
I think
my
he's
first
directed,
Scorsese
like, 45,
movie.
like, feature.
This is your first one?
Never seen another Scorsese movie.
Watch Goodfellas.
I still haven't seen Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, you could get away with watching like a lot of movies, but I feel like Goodfellas is a really good representation of like what a lot of people like from Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the modern
I like Hugo.
Scorsese. I never really. I saw like bits from like the trailers and stuff.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it eventually.
It's not a robot.
It didn't catch my eye when I was like 12. Wasn't funny enough.
We watched 2 Yu-Gi-Oh movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
The first one being the 3D Bonds Beyond Time film, which is a crossover between Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, and Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, in which Jaden, Yugi, and Yusei get together to stop a guy from destroying dual monsters across all timelines.
Epic.
Because in his world, dual monsters has caused the Earth to like implode in on itself. They just like never really explained that. That's great.
Oh, nice.
I think that's fine.
It's just like a 45, like 50-minute movie thing.
Right.
It was fun. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! So I love like the corny cheesiness of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
so.
no, it was a good time. I liked seeing...
You don't like the corny cheesiness of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I just never got into it when I was a kid.
Well,
That's
that's one of the first shows I watched, so.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I've
definitely...
seen it for all of my life, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it was definitely one of my earlier obsessions in life. So there's a lot of fun memories tied to it.
I remember collecting the cards because I was like really into Pokemon cards, so I just kind of like branched off into Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've been an on and
I
off...
played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! For 12 years.
I've been an on and off player of the game. I will, like... I'll pay attention to it from time to time, but then I'm like, man, this game's garbage, but I kind of like playing
The
it.
game's so fucking broken to its very core.
Yeah.
Its core mechanics are broken. I don't understand how it was greenlit. When games far superior like Magic already existed. And I'm just like, how are you gonna make a game so fucking broken? Like, Magic's also broken in some senses, but Jesus.
Then we watched the masterpiece, Dark Side of Dimension. That's the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie we watched.
Which is it's a direct follow-up to the original series.
Okay.
In which Seto Kaiba is searching for the Millennium Puzzle to get the Pharaoh back. It's very good.
Is that the one with I saw the like first Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie and I remember it had like mummies in it?
Yeah.
No, that's the first movie. It was just called Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. I think.
Oh, okay.
And that takes place, I think, during like one of the final arcs.
I think so,
I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to rewatch that one though.
Okay.
But no, this one came out in 2016. They're
Yeah.
like, we're gonna follow it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
the 2D animation is like fucking amazing.
It is incredible. Even like the
3D animation actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Because they only do it for like the cards, so it makes sense in that. Cause it's
and a few of the other like otherworldly effects. Like our main antagonist has like this weird cube-shaped dual disc that's in CG, and I think that does a lot to kind of sell that.
It's like, it's not real!
Yeah. But it's it was really, really fucking good.
It's really funny. Yu-Gi-Oh's really funny.
Yeah.
Seto Kaiba's really funny. He's like, tech has no limits when you're a billionaire.
True.
He has
a space elevator.
Yeah.
Oh.
And at the top, all he has is a little space station where he just keeps the Millennium Puzzle. That's like all it's for.
I mean, that's kind of cool though.
I know, he just does things. At one point, he flies in on a fighter jet, and before it lands, he jumps out.
Oh, wow. Epic.
Oh, it's got a lot of like the bullshit of Yu-Gi-Oh, but like just amped up to 11, and I fucking love that. But also like the entire movie wasn't taken up by duels, which I also really loved. It was really I think they only dueled like 4 times in a 2-hour runtime.
But it took like less time. Most duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are like, this is 5 episodes long!
No, I think the longest duel was like maybe 25 minutes, and that was just the big climactic duel, because it was kind of 2 duels back together. It was a lot of just like, these characters are figuring out what they want to do in life, but oh no, the world's ending because of a children's card game.
Fucking weirdo. We watched VHS 2. I haven't seen either of the VHS movies. Well, I guess There's 3, but nobody talked about the 3rd.
I saw the first one like when it first came out, and I remember not being very impressed. I might like it more now.
VHS 2's bad.
Maybe
there's
not.
the 3rd section is by Gareth Evans, the guy who did The Raid.
Oh, okay.
And it's co-directed by the guy who he worked with Gareth Evans a lot. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he also directed The Night Comes for Us, that movie. I don't know if you watched. I know we watched it on a movie day.
Yeah.
It's another action movie with the same pretty much cast from The Raid. And that section was fantastic. I loved the 3rd part, and then the rest
That was
just
the Colt one, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sad I had to talk to my mom pretty much during the entire runtime of that movie.
And the second, there's 4 main shorts. I like the second one fine too, but then the rest is just garbage. The story that frames it is bad. The 1st and 4th are bad. So it's just a bad movie, but it has a great part in it.
I really liked being on the phone with my mom discussing, what's been going on with our lives, and then looking up at my screen and seeing like 20 people commit suicide, and then another guy blow his face off with a shotgun, and I just kind of went, oh, okay, cool.
I watched Spiral, which I was kind of scared to.
Like Uzumaki?
No, it was Rasen, which is the sequel book to Ringu.
Okay.
So then in the original trilogy of books, it was Ring, Spiral, Loop. And I was very excited and very scared to watch this. Because this is the... Ring has a weird production. As they were making Ring, they also made Spiral.
Okay.
By a different crew, but some of the same cast return. And then they were released at the same time in theaters.
Huh.
Like, there was a joint release. They sometimes had double billing. But Ringu was, like, critically acclaimed. Everybody's like, whoa, Ring! And everybody kind of, like, was pretty meh, which is bad on Spiral. So it's, like, got super forgotten. Especially because the very next year, they released Ringu 2, which retconned it.
Okay.
Like, it took it out of the timeline. However, then later on, in like 2012, Sadako 3D came out, which has a terrible name and is apparently pretty bad, but that's a direct sequel to Spiral. Because he wrote more books, and S, I believe it was called, was a sequel to like the trilogy.
Maybe it's just like a split timeline kind of thing.
Well, it's just a movie series with 2 timelines that like...
Halloween's got like fucking
Halloween
3 or 4 of them now.
There's also a prequel that's based on one of his books that's only in the Ringu 2 timeline.
Huh.
But, so I watched it. I was people kept saying it was really boring. I really, really liked it. I didn't like it as much as like Ringu, but I really enjoyed it. It took turns I was not expecting at all. Sadako's like sexy in it.
Huh.
And I guess she's actually like 19 or 20. I thought she was like a child.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
Yeah, because they don't show
They don't
her.
show it. I just assumed, because they talk about she was their kid, so I'm like, but I guess they...
Probably like a carryover from watching like the remake from like such a young age.
Yeah.
Because like you never like see something.
And she's just short.
Yeah. I really like that shot in the Ringu where they're like living the flashback and she's like just like walking around the classroom and she's like, and like just goes up and grabs her wrist.
I like that.
It's funny. Okay.
But I was a really big fan of it. I liked the twist. I wasn't sure about the twist. I'm like, what the fuck? This changes everything. But I thought the storytelling was excellent in it. And I'm very excited. I'm going to read the books eventually. But I thought it was great. I'm like, this is fun. This is a fun movie. I watched Thelma, which is like a gay superhero origin story.
Okay.
It's about this girl who like keeps having seizures and like things, like supernatural things happen when that happens.
She got infected with the gay, right?
No, but that was a pretty decent movie.
She fell
it's by like a distance.
What was that, Joe?
She fell ploy to the liberal agenda.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's directed by like a distant relative of Lars von Trier.
Oh.
I think his name's like Joachim Trier or something like that.
Interesting.
And then I watched Underwater and Like a Boss.
Yeah.
Underwater was actually pretty decent. Monster Design's really good.
Yeah, I watched both your reviews.
Wow. I watched Spies in Disguise.
Yep.
Which wasn't as bad as I thought, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, it was fine. Will Smith says the N-word.
Whoa!
He doesn't,
What?
He doesn't say the N-word. There's one censored word, which I'm fairly sure was fuck. But London had to go to the bathroom during that time. When he came back, he's like, what I missed? I'm like, Will Smith said the N-word.
Is that like the first time? I don't think I've ever...
He didn't actually say
He didn't actually say
Oh!
They censor one word, and Joe's pretty sure it was fuck.
Okay,
Yeah,
I see what you mean now. Okay, I see.
I was just I was doing an epic gamer troll.
See, I thought they censored the fuck, but they left the N-word.
That
What
would
is
have been a
Guy breaking barriers. And then we watched Interstellar 5555, if you've seen that.
No.
It's an anime that is pretty much just a 55-minute long music video for the Daft Punk album Discovery.
Oh, is that where like
They're the blue people.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
The Get Lucky, the song that they do that on?
No, Get Lucky was in their 2013 album Random Access Memories.
Well, what fucking song is it that has the really popular music
Stronger.
video? It's not Stronger. Not the one I'm thinking of.
One more time.
Yeah.
Oh, is that called Stronger?
No,
No,
there's
but
another
that's
song
on.
called One More Time.
Those are probably the two popular songs from the album.
Most popular,
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Well,
I really love Daft Punk.
Yeah,
so.
I'll have to check it out because I like Daft Punk. So.
I've never-
It's literally just like I think it's not even really a movie in a lot of sense. Like there's no dialogue. It's just a really long music video. But I think it's great.
I like stuff like
I
that.
love Shep.
Shep?
Yeah, Shep.
Is that like the character?
One of them's named Shep. I love him.
Okay.
I thought it was good. I'd never really listened to Daft Punk apart from like the popular songs that would always play on the radio.
Yeah, that's pretty much my case too.
And I dug it as kind of like my first album experience for Daft Punk.
Ooh, they do that sick song with Paul Williams, Touch. That song is a fucking masterpiece.
Okay.
I rewatched Booksmart.
Oh, nice. I still haven't seen it.
I think it's a great movie. I'm a really big fan of that.
I'll have to
Especially
watch
for
it.
Olivia Wilde's like directorial debut. Fantastic.
Really, really good movie.
Yeah, I watched that with my girlfriend. And then with Julia and Pierre, I watched Sunday in the Park with George, which is a Stephen Sondheim musical.
Okay.
We watched the 86 Pro Shot, which has Mandy Patinkin in the main role.
Oh.
And Bernadette Peters, who's fantastic. The music in it's fantastic. I would definitely recommend giving that a listen, but the story's pretty bad.
Okay.
It's like somehow the best musical ever and the worst thing ever. But
Makes
it's
sense.
decent still. And then I watched Ride Your Wave, which is the new Masaki Yuasa film. He did like Lou Over the Wall, Mind Game,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Girl.
For his serialized work, he did Ping Pong Animation, Devilman Crybaby to Tommy Galaxy.
Yeah.
He's a new show airing that I've been meaning to start watching just because I love Misaki Yuasa. And I really liked Ride Your Wave.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was one of the weaker of his films. I'm not like huge on him. One of his films I think is fantastic, and then the rest are like pretty good. I haven't like disliked pretty much anything he's like solely directed, but this one was pretty good.
I really like this movie. But I like a lot of things that he works on, even though like I haven't been able to hold my attention with Devilman Crybaby. I still haven't finished him on like episode 7.
Yeah, I've had because I tried watching that. I've also tried reading the manga for Devilman. I have a hard time getting into that story too.
No, I mean like, and also like for like when we started watching it, I've been in just like weird headspaces whenever I'd like try and sit down and watch it, and just I couldn't keep my attention, which is not a fault of it, because it has been critically loved.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. For me, I've just never been in a good or the right mind space to watch it, and I keep meaning to watch Tatami Galaxy.
The right headspace to receive information that could potentially harm you.
I'm in the right headspace to
Got him.
But I really liked it. It's a very small scale, intimate story that's really well animated. But anything behind Masaki Yuasa and Science Saru is going to look simple, but really, really fluid and emotional. And I really, really like that.
Cool. All right. Yeah, because I remember you telling me about Mind Games. That's one that I've been meaning to check out.
Mind Games is really fucking weird.
Yeah,
Everybody really loved Mind Game. I unfortunately wasn't as huge on it as most people. I thought that like the first 30 minutes is perfection.
Okay.
And the rest is not. I still enjoyed it, but it's just Pinocchio after that point.
Huh.
I just kind of liked it just because, again, the visuals are fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I just kind of was like, I don't care what story you sell me, but I love these visuals that are happening in front of my eyes. It's a feast for the eyes.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
And yeah, that's what I watched this week.
That was also what I watched.
Epic.
I also watched a short from Wes Anderson called Castello Cavalcanti.
Ah, how was it?
It's pretty good. It was fine. I felt like it was too short to really mean anything, but it was Jason Schwartzman. He was like a race car driver, and then he crashes in a small town, and he's like, "Oh, this town secretly has all my ancestors."
Huh.
It's just funny. It's just a funny little film. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It's 8 minutes long. I'd recommend it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
One more time. And I believe that's it. Thanks for watching it. No.
Oh.
Oh, wait. We have a whole podcast to record.
Yeah, we've got 3 movies to talk about.
As soon as I send Thomas a bunch of pictures of Shep.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep. Oh, so while London is sending
But I'm already
pictures,
done.
well, he's done. The Oscar nominations got released today.
Yes, let's talk about these, because I have words for you.
I haven't heard them, so this is all going to be like my genuine...
All right, so let's begin. Let's begin with Best Picture. That's the big one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino. Irishman by Martin Scorsese. Parasite by Mr. Bong Joon-ho. 1970 by Sam Mendes. Marriage Story by fucking Noah Baumbach. Jojo Rabbit by Taika Waititi. Little Women by Greta Gerwig. And Ford vs. Ferrari by James Mangold.
You got a few good choices in there.
Yeah, I don't think Joker should be there. I personally don't think... I like Jojo Rabbit, but I don't think it should be there. I think Taika Waititi deserves every Oscar ever, but maybe not for Jojo Rabbit. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or The Irishman, or 1917, or Ford vs. Ferrari.
Yeah, Ford vs. Ferrari feels like a weird
I know that Ford vs. Ferrari, technically is really fun to watch. I've seen a bunch of behind-the-scenes footage from it, and I think James Mangold's a great director, so I don't, doubt that it's a good film. I just don't know if it's Best Picture material.
Yeah. I haven't seen Little Women, but I feel like that'd probably be a safe pick for them.
Yeah, I've
Greta Gerwig's a great director. So.
I doubt they'll pick it, though.
Yeah.
I doubt they'll pick a woman-directed film.
My heart goes to either Marriage Story, which I would give that one best screenplay or best performances for sure, or Parasite.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen 4 movies on this list, and of the 4 that I've seen, 2 of them I thought were bad. Those 2 movies that I thought were bad were Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Joker.
You've seen 5 of these movies.
I don't...
Saw Jojo Rabbit, Marriage Story.
1, 2, 3, 4. I can count today.
Yeah,
I gave it a 6. Once Upon.
No, I gave it a 2 or a 3.
I don't think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Joker are necessarily bad, but they're far from...
Okay, no, I did give it a 6.
Okay, because I remember when I talked to you right after you saw it, you're like, I liked it enough, but I just didn't really connect with it. I'm like, what happened? Am I in an alternate timeline?
Yeah, but I've learned I don't like a lot of critically loved movies, especially from this last year, where everyone was like freaking out over Once Upon a Time. I'm like, it's all right.
That's like fine. That's kind of like a general critics pick, though. Like that's the one that like a lot of people flock to. It's like common ground between critics and general audiences are typically like Tarantino's film. So you'll hear whenever Tarantino releases a film, you'll hear that talked about on a much like bigger scale than you would your typical movie.
No, that's fair. I mean, the only other Tarantino movie I've seen was Pulp Fiction, and I watched that in college, and I'm like, it's fun.
Yeah,
it was good.
Pulp Fiction. That's probably like my favorite film of his.
I don't know, but of the list, like there's still a bunch of movies on here I want to see. I pretty much want to see everything that I haven't seen besides Ford versus Ferrari. Just whatever. But I mean, man, yeah, my pick would definitely be for Parasite, just because sexy. I wish Jojo Rabbit would win it, but I don't think it would, just because also Taika Waititi is sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would, because I liked Marriage Story more than I liked Parasite, but I would say I'm rooting for Parasite because I think it'd be really cool for a Korean movie to win Best Picture, because foreign films winning over here is really
that's why like
atypical. So
on Letterboxd now, it already was the highest film, but now it's just the highest rated thing on Letterboxd right now, even above all those like Blue Planet 2, all those like really big miniseries. Yeah. And even though like it's not my favorite from Bong Joon-ho and it's not my favorite movie, I'm glad that like the Letterboxd itself isn't just so Western centric, because I'm like, can we like not pretend that like Western media is the only thing? Like there are especially South Korea. There are so many brilliant movies coming out from South Korea.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll give to Letterboxd over IMDb. When I used primarily IMDb, I had a really hard time finding like foreign movies. I
found so many great foreign films from Letterboxd.
Yeah, because like the lists are more easily accessible. Like I can just search list topics. You can't do that on like regular IMDb. I don't know if you can on one of their like paid perks, but yeah, so I like being able to like kind of look up like, oh, I want this type of movie, and finding lists that would like carry those type of movies.
Totally.
There's a lot more like cinematic people on Letterboxd who like kind of have a deeper understanding of film.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people that just like or just go on it to goof around and stuff.
Yeah,
which is great too. I'm glad that there's.
It's a nice balance.
Like all the walks of life and all like people that love cinema and film and movies, you know?
Mm-hmm. If you want a shitpost a review, you can put D's nuts for a review and have it be there.
Yeah.
7,000 likes! Yes! D's nuts!
Yeah.
D's nuts!
I think my most liked review was Hulk Dab's Epic for Endgame. So
yeah. So then
next... I can't believe you didn't mark that as spoilers.
And then next up for best actress in a leading role, we have Renee Zellweger from Judy. Charlize Theron from Bombshell, Scarlett Johansson from Marriage Story,
Saoirse. That's how you pronounce it. Okay, Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know that.
I was about to turn to you for pronunciation.
I just butchered it. Yeah, Saoirse Ronan from.
And then Cynthia Erivo from Harriet.
Yes,
I've only seen one of these movies.
I'm going to see Little Women today later, obviously, so I can't speak for her.
I think Saoirse should fucking win this. Like, it'd be great to have her, like, get a win this young, too. Mm-hmm. I think Scarlett Johansson, even though I disagree with her stances on a lot of things, and I think she's kind of an idiot in real life.
I haven't, like, done any sort of deep dive
she's,
on her.
Like, she just doesn't really think before, like... talking.
I like her acting.
She's a great actress. I can say that, but I think that Saoirse Ronan does a little bit of a better job in Little Women.
I'm interested to see how much I'm going to like her. I'm sure I'll like her performance, but
you already saw an adaptation of Little Women you enjoyed.
And so now Joe in my heart is forever Winona Ryder. So it's gonna be interesting.
I am sad that, or it makes sense. I wish Florence Pugh from Midsommar was on here because her performance in that movie was so fucking good.
I still haven't seen Midsommar. It's on Prime now, so I'll probably get around to watching it.
I really liked Midsommar. It was one of my favorite movies of last year.
I thought Midsommar was a pretty okay film.
I'll probably walk out with that opinion. I wasn't super crazy about Hereditary.
See, I personally was. I thought it was great. I didn't think it was like 9 or 10 material, but I think I gave it an 8. I think I really enjoyed it.
I'll probably watch Hereditary because I think the reason why I was so like disenchanted with it is because my expectations versus what the film was.
Yeah.
And maybe like watching it, knowing what it is, I'll
I
probably
think that
like
might
it
just
more.
be A24 being its funny marketing sell.
Because I really wanted like a good psychological horror movie, and I thought like a lot of the concept was really interesting. Like, spoiler alert, minor, like not like end spoilers, kind of like 20 minutes into the movie, spoiler alert for Hereditary. But I would have much preferred just to watch like a drama in this like situation where like this irresponsible son gets his little sister killed and deal with like the drama of that.
No,
but
I can definitely see that.
went down the horror route, and it was like supernatural, and I was just like, eh.
See, I was fine with the supernatural aspect.
I was expecting it to be psychological, and that's kind of what I wanted out of it.
About this category, I think it's a little ridiculous that Awkwafina isn't on this list for The Farewell, especially because she just won a Golden Globe for her performance in it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, she's not even nominated.
She did pretty good. I enjoyed
Like
it.
I wasn't as like fond of The Farewell as some people are. Like I thought I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't blown away by it like some people. But
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous that like just she's just not there.
No, I can agree with that. Especially seeing as like the only movies I think I've seen with Awkwafina in it were Crazy Rich Asians and then The Farewell.
I've only seen The Farewell.
And yeah, no, she's a brilliant actress. Sorry.
Actor. Yeah, that's one of those things.
Yeah,
It's like doctor versus doctoress. It's like, it's not really necessary. They're both just doctors.
no, it's like waiter versus waitress. Whereas when I was a server, we were all just called servers.
Exactly.
I think Cho Yi Jong from Parasite. She's one of the main ladies in that. I think she should have gotten a nom.
She the rich mom, their mom, or like the daughter. Like, who does she play?
She plays the rich mother, I believe.
Okay.
Regardless, all the.
I think some of them. I don't think any of them got noms.
I don't believe.
I think Parasite did, but I'm just like, no fucking Song Kang Ho.
God, could you imagine if Song Kang-ho was in Best Actor category?
No Choi Woo-shik.
Oh God, if Song
I was watching an interview with him because they've been going to a bunch of award shows because Parasite's been fucking sweeping a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And he's just like, the best thing I like about America is everybody thinks I'm sexy. And it's like, in South Korea, people don't think I'm sexy.
Wait, who is it? Song Kang-ho?
Song Kang-ho.
I mean,
He's like, in South Korea, people think I look kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you guys think I'm sexy.
Oh, I love that.
There was that interview. He's like, yeah, Parasite is fine, but you should watch Memories of Murder because I'm in it more.
fucking yeah.
And in that same interview, Bong Joon-ho's like, yeah, Zodiac's really good, but just remember, Memories of Murder came out like 4 years before.
I need to watch some of these interviews because those sound amazing.
And then there was, I think it was at the Golden Globes, his translator and him said, like, I just hope that Western audiences can realize once you get past the 1-inch barrier of subtitles, you'll be open to a wide world of fantastic film.
I know. That's like my biggest complaint with like people whenever they're like, I don't like to read my movies. It's like, fuck off.
But you'll still watch Netflix with subtitles.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, I gotta be quiet. I'll turn it down all the way.
Yeah. Do you want to handle the next category, London?
Yeah, best actor in a leading role. We got Joaquin Phoenix for The Joker. We got Adam Driver for Marriage Story. Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory. And Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. That's the thing that I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't seen The Two Popes yet.
I haven't seen
but that's another... I was not expecting The Two Popes to be Oscar contender. So that's 3 Netflix movies that are at the Oscars.
I want to say The Two Popes I got 3 noms.
Huh.
I think Antonio Banderas' movie choice for this year was wrong. It should have been Dora.
I've heard Pain and Glory is incredible.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pain and Glory, and I haven't seen The Two Popes. I would probably give it to Adam Driver personally.
Yeah.
Adam Driver fucking... Like, Marriage Story isn't my favorite film from last year. It's one of them, but he fucking is incredible.
It annihilates. It's so good.
Should have been Song Kang-ho, but, you know.
I feel so bad for Adam Driver because he's like, no, I can't watch any of my movies.
Yeah, I get it. The big thing that caused that was a scene in Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he plays like a big goofball in that movie, and he watches it and he's just like, oh, and he like stopped after that.
Yeah, because I was listening to a lot of the like Marriage Story like kind of press interviews that they've been doing, and yeah, he's just like, no, like Noah Baumbach says he gets like calls from him, and he's like, so I've got ideas for what I could do with my character from like Francis Ha, and he'll just reflect on like what he should have done back then, and he just gets stuck on it.
Yeah.
He's like, forget it, I'll just do it, be done with it, move forward, and just do something else.
One,
let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
there's that. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but whenever he goes to a film festival, you're supposed to like
After a movie plays, it'll like show all the cameras to the person's, like the actors and the crew. And he hates watching his own film. So the credits will start, like, the movie will start, he'll walk away and sit in, like, the green room. And then, like, 5 minutes before the movie ends, he'll go back to his seat. So he just, like, sits on his phone or something just in the green room for, like, 2 hours.
Yeah. Huh.
oh,
Poor guy. But,
Yeah, well,
I mean, whatever works for him.
Yeah. All right. Next category is
Best
Director. We have Martin Scorsese with The Irishman, Quentin Tarantino with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Bong Joon-ho in Parasite, Sam Mendes with 1917, and Todd Phillips with Joker.
Oh, dude.
We mentioned, we went through, we just kind of breezed through the Oscar noms before we started, and London. Greta Gerwig wasn't on there.
yeah, Greta Gerwig's not on there, which is pretty ridiculous. As well as there are a bunch of female directors from this year. Lulu Wang is not on there. She directed The Farewell, which had some great direction.
But you mentioned Booksmart. Olivia Wilde wasn't
Olivia
on.
Wilde's not on there. Fucking Celine Sciamma for Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Really?
That's got no nominations. And it's like...
I've heard literally nothing but good things
Yeah, I
about that
haven't
movie.
seen it yet, but it's like...
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either.
I think it's the second or third highest rated movie of the year on like Letterboxd. It's super high up on like everything.
Has it been released, or not released, released to like the main chain of theaters, or just...
Actually, I don't know, because I know it's going through Neon, so there's always the chance it technically hasn't been released yet.
I think there have been a few small showings, like a few small releases,
Yeah, I
but
don't know,
nothing big.
It doesn't have to have a wide release to be in the Oscars, right? Because it was... I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll just pretend that's why.
My pick's just Bong Joon-ho, obviously.
Yeah. Out of what they like offer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, out of what they've offered me,
Maureen Scafaria didn't get a nom. She did Hustlers. You know, there are a bunch of movies that had great direction. There were. I believe this is like the highest, the year with the most female directors, and having 0 female directors in the like. Best
Hashtag
director.
where the woman at?
Like seriously, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
But you put in Todd Phillips.
Yeah, Todd Phillips, like, I mean, granted, this movie was better than the Hangover trilogy, but, I mean...
I don't think... I like I've only seen Hangover 1, and I like that way more than I like Joker.
I fucking hate the Hangover
It's because
trilogy.
you haven't seen the Hangover 2 and 3 that you're looking at it through the rose
good. I love movies later on in its series that make the original retroactively terrible.
Like The Last Jedi.
Got him.
Just kidding.
But, yeah, like...
I mean, and also, like, when you look at Best Director, like, there are 2 of probably the most prominent living directors up for nomination in Martin Scorsese and Tarantino.
One of them most likely will get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I doubt Bong Joon-ho will, just because of the
like way the Oscars work.
Yeah.
I don't think somebody's gonna win like a
If
foreigner's
they
gonna win
don't
it.
give it to Bong Joon-ho, then they should give it to Scorsese, probably, out of what...
Actually, maybe Sam Mendes. Well, it's been doing really well in the circuit as well.
What did Sam Mendes direct?
1917.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I haven't seen it yet, so...
I almost saw it the other day, but we saw Spies in Disguise instead.
The theater was full.
Great choice.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like full, but
But you were
it had
lucky
just
that
started. Like, I would have been like 5 minutes late, and I'm like, I don't want to sit down. I was just like,
All right, next category, London.
Best actor in a supporting role.
Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Al Pacino, The Irishman. Joe Pesci, The Irishman. Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes.
Immediately right
I'm
after
sorry,
that.
hold on. I haven't seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Supporting role?
he's not
The story doesn't really center around Mr. Rogers. It's a story about someone who interacted with Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the main character in it is that guy that, he's like a journalist. He's kind of a
Yeah,
cynical
I remember that
journalist.
line from the trailer. I was like, you're not going to ruin my childhood.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Tom Hanks fucking, like, killed it in Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood for me. Like, a lot of people are like, it's just kind of Tom Hanks. And I'm like, I understand that that's just a lot of things he's been in just because
his voice sounded like Mr. Rogers.
His performance as Mr. Rogers was really incredible, but one of the common criticisms I've seen with that movie is like, it doesn't really feel like Mr. Rogers. It feels like kind of just Tom Hanks. And I'm like, I wonder if that's
What's the difference?
I say that, and also I'm like, I feel like that's probably also just an issue of his stardom more than his acting prowess, because I thought he did wonderfully. That movie made me cry so many times, and I don't cry a lot. There's this like amazing like 2-minute monologue where he just spikes the camera and just goes on. As the context is he's talking to the reporter, but he just spikes the camera and just stares right ahead at it, and I'm just like, fucking killed me. It's so good. So that's where my vote is for.
I'll have to watch it once it hits like rental.
I haven't seen any of these movies, so
I liked Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time. Honestly, I think the movie would have been better if it was just Leo and Brad Pitt kind of just going around doing things, because that was probably one of my more favorite things.
What was your gripe with it? The Margot Robbie focus?
Like, I didn't understand that it was about Charlie Manson. It kind of like is this weird like alternate history thing.
Yeah.
Like that all just kind of went right over my head because I'm a dum-dum. Until afterwards I heard it's like, no, it was about Manson, because the name, fucking, what was Margot Robbie's character's name?
She plays,
the chick that died, the famous chick that died from Manson killings.
I know the name, it's like right.
Sharon Tate.
Sharon Tate, yes.
That name didn't ring any bells to me. So a lot of what the movie was trying to talk about just went right over my head. Which I think is fine, but also for people like me who all just consider myself general audience, not
bald people.
All of us bald. I represent every single bald person in the world right now.
Okay.
I don't know, just maybe a harder cue on those things. I get it. People like to dig through those things, and I'm totally for that and fine with that. It didn't strike well with me.
I feel it. I can see why you would.
If Brad Pitt got a nomination, I think he should have gotten Best Actor for Ad Astra. I think he's fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch that one here.
Really good. I rewatched most of it on a plane, and then I conked out because I'd already seen the movie. So beautiful, so well made. All right, we got Best Actress in a Supporting Role. We got Laura Dern in Marriage Story. We got Margot Robbie in Bombshell. We have Florence Pugh in Little Women. Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit, and Kathy Bates in Richard Jewell.
I didn't end up seeing Richard Jewell. I was going to, but
this one will have to wait for like the rental.
I've only seen Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit, and Laura Dern beats out Johansson for me.
Laura Dern, I believe she won a Golden Globe for her performance in Marriage Story.
She does a really good job.
Yeah, she does. I feel like I gotta give it to Little Women again. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Florence Pugh is fantastic. I love her.
I love that she's getting a lot of these big roles.
I personally like her role in this more than her role in Midsommar, which I like. Or I think she's good in Midsommar, but she's so good in Little Women.
Who does she play in Little Women?
Is it Joe?
There's Joe. There's Beth. There's
Meg, I believe.
the like older sister, the more like responsible one.
I thought that was Joe.
Joe's like the. Joe might be the oldest. I don't know.
I believe Joe's the oldest.
No,
just kidding. Emma Watson plays the oldest.
Okay.
The one that paints. Is there a painter in the one?
Not in the movie, but I listened to like the first like little bit of the audiobook, and there was someone who like talked about drawing. I think it was the little girl, but I don't know. Because I didn't watch the movie before.
Beth is the youngest, right?
I think so.
Yes. Amy, that's her name. Amy March.
Okay.
I've heard that Amy March is like kind of like the worst character in some of the adaptations, and Greta Gerwig did a good job at making her like one of the best in this one.
Okay. Huh.
All right. Next category.
Best animated feature film: Toy Story 4, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, Missing Link, I Lost My Body, and Klaus, which marks the fourth film from Netflix with us.
Yeah.
Nom. Missing Link won the Golden Globe, which like everyone was like, "What the fuck?" This Leica film that nobody like super loved, which I'm just glad a Leica film won. You know,
I didn't see any of them.
I've seen everything except Missing Link actually. I'd probably say that I enjoyed I Lost My Body the most. I thought that was pretty great.
I've only seen Toy Story 4 and How to Train Your Dragon 3.
But I think I Lost My Body's a little too strange and a little too nuanced in its storytelling, I guess, for a nom for animated feature film. It's also an adult animated feature film, so I doubt.
No. Nah.
But it's about a hand that's trying to find its body.
Oh,
It fights rats.
Ooh.
And like a bird
That
snaps a bird's neck.
Sounds pretty interesting.
It's a French animated film. That's also a Netflix one. What the fuck?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of screen caps and clips from Klaus, and it looks really
Klaus is really well animated. The story's pretty decent. Like it's fun. Jason Schwartzman's the main character, and J.K. Simmons is the other main character. He plays Santa pretty much.
Oh, good casting choice there. I mean, he's usually pretty angry, but I feel like it'd be a nice unexpected cast.
All right. We got Best International Feature Film, South Korea with Parasite, South Korea with Bong Joon-ho, Spain with Pain and Glory, France with Les Miserables, North Macedonia with Honeyland, and Poland with Corpus Christi. Parasite. It's the only movie I've seen on it.
I'm not familiar with the last two. I know that Pain and Glory is like, apparently Antonio Banderas is like career best role. Pedro Almodovar, I believe his name is, he's the director. He's done a bunch of stuff, and apparently this might be his best movie as well. And I've heard the new Les Mis production stuff. The movie is like fantastic, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna give it to Parasite, but I'm very interested in the other four.
Yeah, that's one of the weaker categories for me. All right. Ooh, this one's stacked.
Best original screenplay: Marriage Story,
Okay.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, Knives Out, 1917.
I haven't seen Knives Out, so I'm gonna say. Like I said, I would give Parasite Best Picture because I want the foreign film to win Best Picture, and as I said earlier, I want Marriage Story for Best Screenplay because I feel like Marriage
Story, like, the screenplay in Marriage Story is so good. Like, I love the screenplay in Parasite, and I like the movie more than Marriage Story, but I think I would give the screenplay to Marriage Story as well. However, actually, I might give it a Knives Out. Knives Out.
Yeah, Knives Out.
Yeah, I haven't seen Knives Out.
Knives Out's got a really, really tight screenplay and a really well done screenplay. This one's stacked for me. I think for me, it's probably Marriage Story, just because I really like the character dynamics, and it's really, and all the dialogue is really weighty.
Yeah.
And they sing a sexy song.
Yeah, and Adam Driver sings.
Sit in my chair
and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Anyway.
All right, we got Best Adapted Screenplay. The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, The Two Popes, and The Joker, baby.
Give it to Little Women. Give it something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little one.
Yeah.
That's it. Best documentary feature. I've only seen one of them. I've heard great things about two of the other ones. It's American Factory, another Netflix movie.
Oh,
That's sick.
Netflix is killing it.
Yeah.
Which is a great documentary. It's not like my favorite doc, but it's really great and super humanistic. But The Edge of Democracy, haven't seen that one. Honeyland, haven't seen that one. That also won, or is in the noms for international feature film. For Sama, which I've heard is just phenomenal. I almost watched it last night, but then I watched Mulholland Drive a third time. And The Cave, which I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yep, I haven't watched a lot of documentaries from this last year, so I'm whatever. Best Original Song. I'm Standing With You from Breakthrough. Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. Stand Up from Harriet. And I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man. Then we have I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away from Toy Story 4. Yeah, for me it's Rocket Man.
Yeah, I mean, the Toy Story song's pretty decent. I'm pretty sure I've heard I'm Standing With You. It's interesting because that's like a Christian film. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Is that the one where he's like a guitarist and he's like, my girlfriend's dying?
No, it's, if I remember correctly, I think Breakthrough's the one, this woman's like son like drowns right at the beginning, but he like comes back to life, like they resuscitate him after she like prays or something, and it's like, oh, God saved him. Which I've heard like for like what is essentially like a Christian propaganda film, it's actually like pretty decent comparatively to, most pure flicks films. I don't think this one even was
probably more well produced.
Yeah. I thought Frozen 2's weakest point was the soundtrack. I don't like Into the Unknown. I like Frozen 1's soundtrack fine. But Into the Unknown, I think, is one of the worst songs on the soundtrack to Frozen 2, while everybody else loves it, so I'm not a fan. I'd probably give it to Rocket Man as well. I haven't heard Stand Up from Harriet, though, so.
Yeah, and just none of the songs from Toy Story 4 really stood out to me.
See, this is an interesting one, because I think most of these don't have good visual effects. Best visual effects: Endgame, The Lion King, Rise of Skywalker, Irishman, 1917.
Why the fuck is
Irishman.
Lion King on here? That movie looked...
I thought it looked good. I didn't see it, but I thought it looked
The
fine.
trailers made it look impressive, but a lot of the ways that they were implemented just made everything else feel weird.
I would give it to The Irishman because the de-aging in it was really good.
I was gonna say that, but then I'm like, 1917 just won Critics' Choice for Best Editing, and people are like, that's silly. Like, they edit the stuff together, but that was all pre-planned and stuff. I think, if anything, the visual effects are how they really, stitch the film together to look so seamless.
I haven't seen
Me
anything.
neither. I just know about it. But honestly, I'd probably give it to Endgame out of the stuff I've seen. Because I've only seen two of these.
Yeah. I mean...
Because I thought Endgame looked really good, like,
if it were
with
called,
visual effects, and I thought there were some really good shots.
If this category was best puppeting effects, then Star Wars for sure. Babu Freak. All right. My turn, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Best cinematography, 1917 with Roger Deakins. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Robert Richardson. The Irishman, Rodrigo Prieto. Joker, Lawrence Sher, and The Lighthouse, Jaron Blaschke. Lighthouse. Immediately. Lighthouse.
Lighthouse has some great cinematography. If Joker wins anything, I would hope it's like cinematography or composition. I hope it doesn't win anything else. Those are the only two that I'm like, yeah, that deserves, like, at least they just think they deserve the nom for this. I thought the cinematography in Joker is really, really good.
I thought it was alright. It was a little too close-up for me a lot of the time.
But I'd give it to The Lighthouse over that.
Yeah, my vote's on The Lighthouse as well.
However, I think Parasite should be in this category.
That, and I would love Lighthouse just to win something, because I would personally... I don't know if I would give it Best Picture, but I think it deserved to be at least nominated, but it's not an Oscar-type movie. So
just let us run the Oscars.
So
yeah, we should.
Small brain question. So with the choice of it being, was it a smaller millimeter film and being shot in black and white, is that a cinematography decision or a directorial decision, or?
It would be a director decision, but it would be like the DP and cinematography like job to like figure out the specifics of it. They'd probably be like, the director's like, I want it to look like this, and basically they're like, all right, it's our job to get it to look like this.
Okay, so then definitely Lighthouse for me. That's solid. Everything else I'm like, it's fine, or I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Best production design. We got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, 1917, Jojo Rabbit, and Parasite. I personally would give it to Parasite because they pretty much built almost every they built most of the houses and stuff in it. Like they built the main house they live in, and then the rich house. The bottom floor was like already there, but they digitally inserted the top floor, and there's a ton of really weird and crazy production that you don't expect.
Yeah, I would give it.
I haven't seen The Irishman though, so
I would give it to either Parasite, or I think that's the one that Once Upon a Time might be deserving of, because they did a really good job, kind of setting it in the time period.
I can definitely agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. But yeah, no, for me, I stand Parasite all the way through. So, all right, best makeup and hairstyling: Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and 1917. I have only seen the Joker.
Yeah, I've only seen the Joker.
I haven't seen it, but I would give it to Bombshell because of the great prosthetics and makeup that they use on Charlize Theron to make her look just like Megyn Kelly. Because I didn't know she was in the movie. I saw, I'm like, where is she? I'm like, that's her? Because they make her look completely different through makeup and hairstyling and stuff. So I'd probably give it to that. Especially because Joker, apparently Joaquin Phoenix just kept going, no, I'll do it myself. I'm just like, fuck off.
Yeah. London.
Best costume design: Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Little Women, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker. I'd give it to Little Women out of the stuff I've seen. Yeah, I think the costuming's fantastic in that movie.
Honestly, because I haven't seen Little Women or The Irishman, probably Jojo Rabbit for me. There's not a lot I think Jojo Rabbit's deserving of. I think at least in this, it's going up against some hard contenders, but I would like Jojo Rabbit to win something. Just because Taika Waititi, God.
All right. Best original score, Joe.
All right. We have 1917 with Thomas Newman. Joker with Hildur. I'm not going to try and...
Hildur Goddardur.
I'm not going to butcher...
Gudnadottir.
Sure. Little Women, Alexandre Desplat. Marriage Story, Randy Newman, and of course Star Wars, John Williams. I think the obvious choice here for what's actually going to win is probably Star Wars.
I don't know. I think the score is the weakest of almost any Star Wars film. I don't think it's...
I would give it personally to Randy Newman for A Marriage Story.
I was really...
that's what I've seen.
I'd give it to Little Women, but that's because I'm a Little Women.
I laughed a lot when where it was score by Randy Newman. What the fuck is the Newman doing here?
He did a good job, though.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Randy Newman's a good composer.
Yeah, he is.
I know, but it's just in my head...
the Family Guy meme.
It's because you're the Toy Story guy.
Yeah.
Stop it. But that's obviously my own...
Like I said, I'm fine if I guess Joker wins this one. I won't... the other ones I'll at least be I'll be angry about Joker winning. This one I wouldn't at least be angry.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give this one to Joker personally.
I don't want to give it, but I'm saying that I'd be less angry.
I don't know. I'd be pretty angry.
There's the other
There are three categories that
we haven't seen anything from.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything from Best Documentary Short, Best Animated Short, and Best Live Action Short. So I'm just going to skip those.
Yeah.
But Best Film Editing, we got Irishman, Ford vs. Ferrari, Parasite, Joker, Jojo Rabbit.
1917 got snubbed in that category. But I guess, like you mentioned, it's more like that was all planned.
Parasite.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Parasite has some
Korean filmmaking is a lot more fast-paced than our movies are over here, which lends to more intense editing and more noticeable editing, so I would give it to Parasite.
Yeah. Stan Parasite. Alright, best sound mixing, 1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ad Astra, Joker. Ad Astra.
Yeah, Ad Astra, because it hasn't been given dog shit.
Well, also, the sound mixing's great in that. It makes you feel like you're just alone in space.
Depending on what time I get home tonight, I might, rent that one.
Also, I've learned to really love, probably mainly through Ad Astra, any space movie that cuts out a lot of the usual sound effects you would expect for anything, I fucking love. Because space is a vacuum, sound doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I really, really appreciated that. Small things here or there, or from the perspective of the character, of course they would probably hear that because sound would vibrate through them. And I really appreciated that a lot.
Okay.
And
I'll
the
be sure to
final
watch it.
category, Best Sound Editing. 1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, Rise of Skywalker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker.
All right. This might sound like a normie question here, but what do they consider the difference between sound design and sound
Mixing and sound editing?
Where the sound is used.
Is sound mixing just the different volumes they'll source to stuff?
I think so.
Or is it closer to sound composition?
So I always just considered sound as one thing. People go in, they record the obvious audio, and then there's sound design and stuff like that. Or, you gotta try to studio create the sounds that would be happening, like footsteps or keys jingling, whatever they're using.
My big dumb brain guess is probably just, where the sounds are used, how they're used.
In layman's terms, sound editing is about collecting the sounds needed for a film. Sound mixing refers to what is done after they are collected.
Oh, okay. So I had those slipped in my head.
Huh.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I guess.
I don't even remember what the films were.
1917, Ford vs. Ferrari, Rise of Skywalker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker.
Yeah, and out of the two I've seen, probably Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I've seen give it to Joker over Rise of Skywalker, I guess.
Yeah. And, that's the Oscar noms.
Yeah, that's a bunch of them are shit, like always. Fuck the Oscars.
I mean, it's an award show, so it doesn't mean anything because everyone's doing backroom deals anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting to see what gets known, because saying that it's Oscar nominated probably means more than winning to most people, or even if you just say Oscar attached to it, to a property, most people are going to be like, oh wow, that must be good.
Yeah, it gives the film a huge publicity bump, and they usually re-release whatever Oscar winners in theaters.
So for me, it's more I'll play into my biases for what I like more, because I'm people should see these movies because I think they're really good.
Yeah. A lot of the time it's just actors I think that this kind of works for that, because a lot of the time they just watch DVD screeners, and it's just people who are part of the committee, and it's
it's a whole
shit show.
It's a whole stupid shit show mess that's just PR, and I'm just give PR to good movies and good people.
His name is pronounced Pierre.
Speaking of which, we got 3 movies to talk about still.
Do we have, by the way, 1:50 is when Uncut Gems is playing, so we should probably try to finish within 2 hours, which will be fine. We're through probably...
Maybe.
Mulholland Drive might take a good
I don't know.
But,
when's the next show? I think we'll figure it.
Well,
like I said, we can work with a woman. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. We'll figure something out. So here's the questions for from Pierre.
Okay.
Do you think that dogs are better when they are wearing hats or glasses? No saying both.
Hats.
Glasses.
Hats.
Fuck. Okay. Would you prefer the same actor to dub all their lines for each version of a film? If they are not fluent in a language, a translated script will be provided for them to read. As in, like, if they do an anime dub, just have the Japanese...
If you're going to go as far as the ADR for other languages, you might as well go the Italian route, where you just have, like, an actor from that, like, area where it's being released come and dub over it.
I think that's funny.
It'd be hard, you know.
I think that's a funny idea, but I don't think that works.
The audiences there would be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I asked Pierre for a really good David Lynch question this time as well.
Oh,
and
okay.
I need you to really think about this one. Do you think David Lynch ever went to a Burger King? What would he eat there?
Back when...
I think he would order a jar of pickles.
I could see him ordering that. I could see him.
I know you have that pickle, Joe!
I know it's back there. I will give you any amount of money I have.
I will let you watch my film on a cell phone.
You remember...
I don't think he would bestow that upon anyone.
You remember a couple years ago when, like, they did that, like Halloween black bun Whopper?
Oh, yep.
I feel like that. He'd be like, I need my drink to be as black as my coffee. So.
Okay.
What kind of soda would he drink?
He'd order a coffee.
From Burger King?
Yes, from Burger King.
Okay. No, I think he'd, like, have, like, a thermos that he keeps, like, under his shirt. And he'd, like, sneak it out.
Yeah.
He'd be like, don't let him see. Burger King!
Oh, Burger King!
All right, movie ideas. Thank you, Pierre, for the questions. Thomas Griffin, movie idea, go.
It's like a deconstruction. It follows like a podcast host, but he's like an Alex Jonesy type podcast host.
So you.
Deep character study. Yeah.
Joe.
You ever heard of Humpty Dumpty?
Are you going to do this again? Yeah?
I have nothing.
Neither did I. We always just...
Okay, no, I got it. I got it. So it's about two Transformers falling in love with each other.
And it's the tagline is, can love bloom on the battlefield?
Can a mechanical heart beat? There's the tagline. Wow!
I would like to make a remake of Batman and Robin. Same cast. George Clooney, like 65 or whatever he is now. Just bring them all back. Actually, just a sequel. Batman and Robin 2.
I wouldn't want that one, but I mean, it's your
It's
film
my
choice,
idea.
so.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We need more Batman and Robin.
Well,
That was my favorite Batman film growing up.
oh man.
It's not anymore. I do not like it anymore.
What's your favorite Batman film now? Out of the live action.
Live action Batman Begins.
Okay.
I know that's not a choice most people would make, but I really like
It's a
Batman
good origin
Begins.
story. It kind
That's
of
my favorite in that trilogy, like, by far.
I've only seen the first movie in that trilogy.
I'm not the biggest fan of Dark Knight comparatively to most people. Like, I think it's good, but I don't think it's like a masterpiece like most people do.
I think it was really groundbreaking for like superhero movies. But like aside from that, like I don't think it's like a major like staple in cinema where it's like, oh yes, you have to see this, like some people project it up to be. But
Yeah.
I definitely think it's like pretty good, and I think it's probably the best out of the three for sure. Dark Knight Rises is kind of like meh.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch the trilogy soon. I haven't seen Begins in like 5 years probably, so.
Yeah, same with me. I saw that in college. It was an outside showing in the middle of winter, and I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and I nearly froze to death. So,
Sounds fun.
yeah, no, it was
We
great.
can do that again.
There we go, yeah.
Let's freeze Joe to death for a funny video.
It was really fun
Yeah.
being in the shower for like 25 minutes just on the floor, like just shivering underneath the hot shower.
I do that every day
Yeah.
for the meme. I'm just like,
Ah,
okay. Thank you, everybody, for the questions, for the Oscar nominations. Don't forget, next time, fucking soon enough, DDoSer 4, which is the prequel to DDoSer, will be out. It's going to be called DD0, sir. It'll be like DDoSer, but with a 0 instead of the O.
Awesome. I'm excited for this.
That's going to be the origin story. I've cast Joe in it without telling him.
Sweet.
He's going to be a murderer.
Sweet.
It's going to be great. We're going to film it soon, maybe tonight if I have all the ideas ready. It's going to be out. Let's get the Oscar nomination next year for best short film.
There we go.
Could you imagine if they're like, yes, put the DDoSer in. I show up in DDoSer clothes.
I mean, it's a smart move to make it like a prequel. It's so they don't have to watch the first 3.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I can't make a DDoSer 4 until we get a new president.
That's fair.
Because we already had a big arc where the last villain was God.
Yeah.
So now we need to start another arc where it does the same thing, where president maybe, or I don't know, maybe like I go after Joel Elstein, I believe his name is, the mega church pastor.
Yeah.
Let's go after him. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll make DDoSer. Just like Spiral and Ringo, I'll do a joint release of the prequel and the 4th.
There you go.
So like 2 bookends kind of thing.
There you go.
Why aren't you the best director in Hollywood right now?
That's because I'm not in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
True.
It's good. He's over here.
Fuck. Yes, I gotta start writing cancel the podcast. I gotta go start writing DDoS. No. Joe, I'm gonna take a shit. Don't want to stop the podcast though. You're in charge of starting A Man Escaped.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Alright, you go get
His
that.
name's Robert Bresson. He's a French director.
Robert Bresson, he's a French director. The movie...
1956.
1956 is when the movie was made. It's shot in a pretty similar time period. Our story follows a man. That's it. It follows a man.
That's the movie.
It's about a French resistance fighter. He got captured and is thrown in prison. And it's a lot of his story of him just trying to break out of it. Yeah. We see a lot of his day-to-day. He starts off kind of being in a cell, like, right above the ground floor, like, first floor. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy who was, like, helping him out. Like, either he was a resistance leader or just a very lenient, powerful person.
Yeah.
And he's just, giving him information. He's taking letters to his family and friends. He's giving him various supplies. He gave him a safety pin, which is the most important, so he was able to break out of his handcuffs whenever he wanted to. A razor blade, paper, a pencil.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of rope, too.
Yeah, he like tosses him up that rope and then gives him the thing to like make that little net that he would like send down,
which was very scary.
Yeah,
the entire time,
like
he's just kind of winching up and down this like bundle of stuff, and I'm like, he's gonna get caught and executed.
Yeah.
And then eventually, they move him into a higher cell. Can't quite remember the reason. I think they were just shifting people around.
Yeah. The prison was getting like more full. Yeah. So they started like rooming people together, and he probably just got shifted up there. And I had gotten the impression when I was watching it, I think I later got kind of swayed away from that impression, is why they moved him up there was because he was going to like death row, and this is like his like probably final waiting area.
Probably, yeah. But he moves up there, and then he starts concocting this plan to escape. And it's a lot of his kind of day-to-day as he's going about doing it. First, he starts off, he
has a spoon that he takes from, like, his usual meal. He just keeps it, and then he, like, chisels it down on, like, the concrete floor, and then starts, like, chiseling the wood of his door down.
Important thing to know, as soon as he got to his cell, he immediately tapped all the sides around him to see if he had any neighbors.
Yep,
no response. Tell. Because important thing to know, it's not the usual, like, jail bars that you can kind of see everything
concrete
through.
Walls.
It's concrete walls and a wooden door. Which makes sense given the period. I think is really funny knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter because I imagine pretty much everyone in this prison is innocent and, because they're under fascist rule. So, And he gets no response, but he knows there's someone that lives right next to him. He's an old dude. I think he wasn't a pastor. Right?
I don't recall.
I don't think he was a pastor. But anyway, he's like, okay, this old man that's just not talking, whatever. But, he starts concocting this plan to leave. He gets a spoon from his meal, as Thomas said, and he starts kind of chiseling away at the door very quietly. I think it took him like a month to get through to the door. Because it was a bunch of different slats, and it had crossbars on bottom and top, so he was able to kind of chisel away at the sides, and then pry it out, and then slide the bars out one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's slowly doing this, and he's like kind of trying. He's very talkative about this whole process.
Well, it's a lot. It was a lot of his thoughts about the entire process. There's a lot of himself narrating it.
Yeah. And he makes like a couple friends. He down because they like have to go down every day, and they wash their stuff and like kind of like do some. Like, kind of like labor. Yeah, labor. I didn't really take it as labor. They were kind of just prisoners. They didn't really do anything with them. I think... It seemed like busy work more than anything. Something, because they were down at those, like, sinks a lot.
I thought that was just them washing up.
It might have been.
It might have just been them washing up, because their clothes were hanging, and they were just kind of always there washing their face. So, our guy, his name, I believe, was Michel?
Yes.
No, Fontaine. I'm thinking.
Oh, Michel is Pickpocket. Yeah.
Michel is Pickpocket. And he has this agreement with the guy right across from his cell that he's going to keep lookout as he's chiseling away. And the entire time he's trying to prep for this breakout. Everyone's kind of giving him a lot of shit. A few people wanted to go with him. One of the guys that wanted to go with him got
super impatient.
He got super impatient, tried to make a run for it, and then was executed.
Yep.
And everyone after that, everyone was really just naysaying him hard. Like, you're not going to do this. You got to do this soon. You're taking way too long. And that just kind of fuels him further. One of the main things, when he got through the door, he got out, kind of wandered around. There was very lax security at night when he did that.
Yeah.
He really didn't have a plan apart from, I need to get out of this door. And he kind of just piecemealed it together here and there, and then it becomes a lot of your typical breakout story planning and stuff.
Yeah, he scopes the place out. The dude who tried to escape earlier, he figured out, like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna need, like, to get over that wall somehow. Yeah. That was, like, his big hurdle. He couldn't get out over these, there's, like, a point where he'd have to, like, cross over a roof somewhere. He wasn't able to do that. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna need to, like, make some, like, sort of hook grapple kind of thing.
Yep.
So he starts like tearing apart his beds, like, cause he takes like the bed frame and uses the wire from that. And, he gets, some bars from...
It's like a lantern cover thing.
Yeah.
There's like a glass pane surrounded by 4 metal bars, and he breaks that, and uses the metal to make the hooks.
Mm-hmm.
His family, friends, someone important to him gives him a package of a bunch of clothes.
Yeah.
And he immediately tears them up to make more rope, which I'm like, that sucks, but also you gotta do what you gotta do.
I probably would have put the new clothes on and because the whole time he's there, because when he arrives there, they like beat the crap out of him because he tries to escape at the very beginning of the movie. And some cops catch him. Yeah, we forgot to mention that there's like a whole sequence where he's like riding in a car and like he tries to make an escape real quick and some cops grab him and they like hit him in the head with a gun a couple times. So the whole time he's there, he's wearing like the same outfit, just these like bloodied clothes that he's been wearing. So I probably would have like switched wardrobe, but
but also I like the idea. Well, I mean,
but they'd probably be sturdier because they're newer. So.
Probably, yeah. And he starts kind of fashioning a lot of these tools and things he would need.
Mm-hmm. There's like a point where they have to like get rid of their pencils too, and he decides to keep it. That becomes a pretty important little detail in here in a little while.
Oh, and during the entire time, he finally got his neighbor to start talking to him.
He talks to him through like the window.
Yeah, find out he's kind of a religious man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually one of the more supportive people. He's like, look, you gotta do this. You gotta do this soon. But he's not like nagging him about it.
What, the old man?
Yeah.
Well, at first he's like, don't do it. You're going to get us all caught. And then once he's so into it, he's like, you know what? You've given me hope. You gotta do this.
Yeah.
And then pretty much once he's done, he's figuring out when he's gonna make his great escape, and then he's throwing a fucking curveball.
Yeah, he gets a roommate who is this really young soldier who is...
Is he German?
I think it was... He was French. I think it was half German, half French.
But basically, like, he got thrown in for treason. They were like, oh, no, you broke our rules, so you gotta go in here. And there's, like, this huge, like, part where he's like, I don't know if I can trust this guy.
Yeah.
This guy might be, like, my foil.
Yeah.
And he's even, like, planning, like, he's like, if I have to, I will take this hook and I will kill this kid. Because he might just be a hindrance in his escape. And if he gets caught trying to escape, he's going to die.
Or my theory during that time was he was a spy for the guards.
Yeah, because it almost seems like it, because he goes and he's, like, chatting up with the guards when they're, like, down there.
Yeah, he did join the German army.
Yeah, okay.
And he was 16 in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he was, like, 19. But
No,
like,
16.
fuck, he's a little baby.
Yeah.
But, basically, it gets to the night where he's like, I have to escape. So he tests him with the pencil. He, like, shows him the pencil. He's like, look, here's the pencil. We're not supposed to have this. He, like, lets it be known. And basically, like, they go out one more time to wash up. And it's kind of like a thing to see if he snitched on him, which he didn't. So he's like, all right, look, I'm going to tell you, if you had the chance to escape, would you? And the kid's like, yeah,
maybe.
Of
I don't
course.
know.
He at first he's like,
he's very washy on it.
But as soon as, like, he
But he's
starts
like,
real,
he pretty much is like, I'll kill you if you don't come.
so he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm in then. So they start the final measures. They, like, build the last of the rope that they would need.
Mm-hmm.
They wait until night. They tap goodbye to his neighbor.
Yep.
And they take off. And basically.
There's a big escape scene. Like,
There's a big escape scene. They go through, like, various places. There's points where they have to, like, wait for 20 minutes, and the night's passing pretty quickly, so, and they know that, like, they need to escape into the night, or else they probably won't escape very far.
There's one of the early conflicts during the escape where there's a guard patrol, and
he fucking just kills him off screen.
He kills him,
runs at him like he's like, I can't use it. He has like a weapon, but he's like, it's not sure. So he throws it and he just like runs at the dude. And then he comes back and he like looks all shook.
Yep. And then they continue the escape, and then pretty standard stuff until kind of the final obstacle where they have to cross this massive gap between the building and the wall.
Yeah.
And I think they wait there for like 2 hours, something like that, because there's this guard on a bike.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a lot of just them kind of building up their nerves, figuring out when is a good time to cross. They eventually throw the hook to make a tightrope across, really. Yeah. And then they just kind of wait after that. See if anyone notices or does anything.
Because initially he kind of like goes and he reaches and he admits, he's like, oh man, I fucking like stalled because that rope didn't look very sturdy. Like, because he just like puts his arm down and the rope like bends down and he's like, oh. But after a couple hours, he's like, we're losing precious time. So he's like, we just need to do this. So he just like crawls across real quick.
Yep.
The kid follows. They like just basically escape from that point. Like they crawl down the other side of the wall and run away into the night, and then Finn appears on the screen, and that was the movie.
Yep. I really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was very engaging, very focused. Like from the point in which the movie starts, you see this guy, right as he's caught, he's trying to escape, and then he gets in there, and you just basically follow him as he.
Do you guys talk about Orsini at all?
We didn't talk about any of the other characters in detail.
That was just the other guy that tried to escape.
We talked about it.
I mentioned him. I really liked how the movie was able to. I know a lot of films don't like to do this, where they just like hold your attention the entire way through and slowly raise it up. But this movie had me tense pretty much the whole way through.
Yeah.
Any scene involving any of the prep. Or, like, kind of the normal day-to-day of, like, him talking with everyone and kind of scheming, telling everyone what he's doing, to the eventual breakout.
The breakout scenes, I was just like...
Yeah, really had me on the edge of my seat.
and even just like the scraping of the doors he does.
Oh yeah.
The sound mixing in this movie is really good for like
It is.
There's like the scraping noises and like
there's like
even the bicycle guard, the like small creak that the bike does, and the like you can hear it like go in the distance. It's really good.
There was a part. It's like right before the bicycle part when he's like waiting on the like ledge of the roof and he's looking down at like the guard who's like walking wall to wall. The sound design of that scene was really good because you can just like hear like the fading as he like walks the distance, and while he's waiting around the corner, you can hear as he like gets closer.
Even just like them walking on the roofs because it's all like gravel and they don't have shoes, so there's just a tiny little crunch with each step. It's like for 50s, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah,
it was really good.
It's important to note that Robert Bresson was he was a World War II French resistance fighter.
Oh, okay.
He was captured.
Okay, I didn't know
this. This is like, I feel like this is pretty much just what he wishes had happened. Like, so it has an extra layer of sad, but also it's just like a pretty fucking entertaining movie.
Yeah,
every scene is like filled with just like tension, but pretty much all the actors are pretty good in it. Yeah. In my opinion. Most of them are, just like the neorealist movement in Italy, most of Robert Bresson's films, they're with actors that like aren't actors.
Yeah.
Which I thought, especially the main character and the guy who played Jost, so Fontaine and Jost was the kid. I thought both of them did great.
What year was this movie?
56.
So this is like right around like shortly like kind of leading into the French New Wave.
I believe so.
Because like French New Wave, I think like is like circa 1959, 1960, like right before the 60s. Because like in 1959, I think is when Breathless came out, and like 60 was like 400 Blows. I might have those like swapped around, but I know that those are two of like the key starter points for that like movement.
But I really like how just like small and concise the plot is.
Yeah.
Like it's just, even the title is just A Man Escaped. Or there's the other title I think it has is
or
The Wind Bloweth Where It Listen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love plots that can just be so like self-contained and small. Like The Mustache. But
very focused.
But I thought all the characters were pretty interesting. I like Orsini because he's like, I gotta do it. And he's like, wait, no, I have an idea. And he's like, no, it's too complicated. I'm just gonna fucking go. And then he just immediately gets caught pretty much.
Yep.
They're like, please, I hope he makes it. And there's just a bunch of really great tense moments where you have no idea what just happened. Like when he goes to like kill the guard and you just like don't see anything. And then he just comes back like, he's just like, has like a pale face.
Yeah.
Also, Fontaine's like, he's a badass. Like, the main character's a fucking badass. He's like, I'm gonna scrape it with a spoon. He's like, I need another spoon. But there's just so much attention to detail in each scene. I loved this movie. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I really, really enjoyed it. And then looking through my notes, I didn't really take a lot of notes on this movie.
The only one I took a lot of notes on was Mulholland Drive, but I took them on my laptop, which I left at home. So
same.
But I've got a lot of that in here, so I'm pretty familiar with that movie.
And then this is actually based on a memoir by Andre Davini, who escaped a prison in 1943.
Okay.
So it's a pretty true story. I think it says that.
Yeah, it starts in the very beginning. It's like, this is like the true story movie you're ever gonna see.
Yeah, and he said the director said in an interview he wanted to achieve a great purity. So that's why I used non-professional actors, that's why I think we talked about it when we talked about Bicycle Thieves. I enjoy non-professional actors.
Yeah.
He fortunately just got a bunch of really good non-professional actors.
Yeah, he didn't settle for like, this one's not too great. He probably did a very intense casting.
Probably.
Yeah.
I also just kind of like prison breakout stories.
Yeah, prison breaks are fun to watch.
I like a lot of the inventive ways that, people will think of to get out. I mean, I
also like the brutality of the first few scenes, like how he's just beaten to like a pulp pretty much. He's like bleeding. I'm like, what the fuck? It really sets up that maybe Nazis are bad.
That's a weird idea, dude.
I don't know. That's a pretty hot take here in 2020.
Yeah.
But Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much more to say on this one. Do either?
No. This and Pickpocket, I both enjoyed both of them, but
they're both pretty simple.
Yeah. Which I recommend this movie to everyone.
Yeah. No, totally.
Especially because it's only like an hour and 40 minutes, and it's really concise. It's just so greatly packed together.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Very, very tight movie.
I had originally given this a 10 on my watch, and then I watched Mulholland Drive, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not a 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, Mulholland Drive ruined me for films.
I gave this movie an 8.
I gave this movie a 9.
I gave it a 7.
Well, that means together it's an 8.
All right. Pickpocket.
Pickpocket, 1959, I believe. So just a couple years later, he did a movie called Pickpocket. And get this, it's a movie about a man who becomes a pickpocket.
Whoa, really?
Robert Bresson was very good at
Pickpocketing?
at writing titles for movies.
That simply
Very
explained
original.
the very simple plot that they will have.
Same thing, a lot of the actors in it are like non-professional. It's about a guy named Michel. He goes to a horse race, he steals some money from a spectator, and then he's like, and he's all confident right at the beginning, and then he immediately gets arrested.
Yeah.
But because they don't have evidence, all they know is like he has money on him.
Yeah.
Like
so
they can't prove it, so they let him go. But because of this, he got like that invigoration. He like falls in with a group of small group of pickpockets.
Yeah.
Like one of them starts to teach him his ways because he's like trying to steal some stuff on like the train, and he's like kind of doing it. He's using like a newspaper and like reaching in, and then this guy comes up to him and he's like, just do this. He like flicks a button and it opens. Like I love this montage of him like teaching him the ways. He like flicks the button, it opens, and then he like reaches in, he picks up the wallet, and he drops it underneath the person's coat.
Yeah.
So he teaches them a bunch of ways, and then they start doing like pretty highly coordinated pickpocket stuff, like with like 3 people where they're like, they're just passing it back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really love all the pickpocketing scenes in this movie.
A lot of the pickpocketing scenes are probably some of my
potatoes.
Yeah, meat and the potatoes, and they were good. They were some of my favorite parts of the movie. That's kind of about it. It follows,
Yeah, he goes and he meets a woman. He goes to visit his mother, but he like can't go in. He doesn't feel comfortable. But he meets this woman that's like kind of taking care of his mother. Yeah. Like checking in on her. Her name's Jeanne. And then she's like, visit your mother more, you fucking asshole. And he's like, no.
I can't. I'm too busy stealing from the rich.
And then, like, his friend goes on a date with her, and they go together. Michelle goes, but then Michelle just steals a watch and then leaves.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they're at a bar at one point. Michelle sees the inspector again, and the inspector's like, hey, show me this book you're reading. It's a book on pickpocketing. He's like, hey, I just like reading, bro.
Yeah. And there's like that whole scene earlier where he's explaining like, oh, what if there's like a super pickpocket who could be used for good and like is just like way smarter than everyone and deserves to like just steal.
He's like, Superman deserve to do super things, like steal from people.
And then there's a lot of like almost Robin Hood-esque rhetoric he has. He's like, look, I mean, is it really a bad thing if this guy is stealing bread so he can eat and not starve to death?
They talk about, like, is crime really inexcusable if it's in the wake of poverty? Like, if you're poor, which is an important thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then he goes to the inspector's place. Well, he goes to the police station because he's like, bring this book by. And it's obviously that they're just searching the place while he's there. He leaves and he's like, fuck. But they don't find his money. It's like behind a board that he rips out.
Yeah, it's like behind his bed, behind a board. So
What were you going to say, sir?
His mom dies in the movie.
Mom dies, yes. Yep. And then he kind of goes more into it. He's like, fuck.
yeah, and then there's like that scene where he steals from his friend and they both kind of realize what happened.
Yeah. And then the inspector visits Michelle at the apartment and tells him that at one point the mother had gotten like money stolen. She thought it was a neighbor, but then she realized that it was her son and she like dropped the charges. Yeah. And he's like, well, I didn't, I wasn't going to investigate, but then I saw the son. It was him, and he had stolen money at the racetrack. And he's like, but I let him go. I didn't have enough evidence. And he's pretty much saying, like, I've known it's you, and I've been trying to, like, get you to stop,
all that stuff.
And he's like, I haven't been doing my job because I've thought maybe you could change. But he doesn't arrest him because he still doesn't have the right proof, but he's like, soon enough, I'll arrest you. So then Michelle's like, well, see ya. So he fucking just leaves the country.
Like 2 years.
2 years. He goes to Milan. He goes to Rome. He goes to England, where he spends 2 years in London pulling off good jobs. Mm-hmm. But then he has a bunch of other vices as well. He starts just spending all his money on women and like
gambling, and drinking, and all that good stuff.
So then he returns to France and he goes back to Jeanne. Because he had like been like, I love you. They'd pretty much like been in love. And he's like, I'm gonna leave without telling you.
Yeah.
And she has a child that Jacques impregnated her and then just kind of left. Because she didn't want to marry him. So he's like, we'll see him. So then Michelle's like, no, I'll support you. And he starts doing good jobs and stuff. But then he gives into temptation again and he goes back to that same horse track. And like, as he's getting this big wad of cash, like a bunch of police are just like, haha, we got you.
Yep. And then, he goes to jail,
and
she comes and visits him, and she's basically like, my baby's, like, pretty much dead now, and I love you, let's be together.
Yeah.
Yeah. They realize that they're, like, in love, and the movie ends with them, like,
yeah, they're, like, fucking...
They're fucking through the bars, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
As close as they can get to it. Yeah, I thought this one was pretty fun.
I'm a fan of this one as well.
I was not a fan of this one.
I really like a lot of the stylization of something. I thought there were some fucking amazing shots in it. The editing is fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah. This one's a real mixed bag for me. I really like all the pickpocket stuff. I thought all that was really fun to watch, and I like the concept of the movie. But I wasn't a fan of the characterization. I felt like it just kind of hit the surface level. With, like, everything it was trying to do, I felt like it could have dived a little deeper, especially given that the film has an extremely short runtime of 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Yep.
I
liked how a lot of the pickpocketing montages looked.
Mm-hmm.
But, in any of the picks. But, man, they felt so unrealistic. Maybe unrealistic is the wrong term.
Some of them did. Some of them
felt... Just a lot of them, they're, like, kind of fumbling with the guy for like 2 seconds. And I'm like, how do you not notice that? Like, I get people don't pay attention to a lot of things, but man, a lot of these just felt like, how are people not noticing this?
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of the characters.
There's like lots of scenes where he'll like help someone up and he'll like grab their wrist and take their watch.
Yeah.
How do they not like it? Because if someone grabs my wrist and I had a watch there, the first thing I'm going to do the second I like step one step away from them is I'm going to look and be like, oh, my watch is gone, and that dude just grabbed my wrist.
Yeah.
A lot of like little things.
I didn't like a lot of the characters. A lot of the interactions felt very weird. The entire movie, I kept looking at Michel. I'm like, I don't know if this guy's really, which I now know he's not a professional actor.
Yeah. Which I love the character of Michel. I thought he was fantastic.
I thought the performance was fine.
I couldn't figure out if I liked the performance or if I didn't. It felt very, very flat to me. Although I liked a lot, like I kept looking at his eyes. Like his eyes are telling a good story, but the rest of his face is just like deadpan. And I'm just like, I couldn't get into this movie.
I personally love the way that the narrative was paced, as if it was pretty much like diary entries. Like a lot of the big things, like they would just jump forward. It felt like he was more expressing his feelings on the matter instead of like what actually happened. I think that there's a lot of influence. Paul Schrader has said that there's a huge influence on him for writing Taxi Driver for this. Like, he thinks that, and Paul Schrader has said that this movie's like a masterpiece.
I know, Richard Linklater really likes this movie too. I was watching, he's got a couple of
I
them,
believe
like
Alex
festival.
Winter also really loves this movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of a thing, like, Linklater will do like these openings for screenings of films where he gives like a 45-minute talk on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he has one for this that I watched a little bit of last night. But I didn't watch the full thing. He was mostly just talking about like his experience with the film. But yeah. I thought it was pretty alright. Like I said, I enjoyed the concept. I enjoyed a lot of the sequences. But yeah, I felt like they could have done a little more with it, in my opinion, personally.
Personally, I thought it was great. I was a big fan. I watched a bit more of it. I rewatched some of the scenes last night. I love the pickpocketing scenes. I love some of the interactions between him and like his friend. I love the interactions between him and the inspector. I don't know. I guess it just spoke to me more. But I pretty much enjoyed all aspects of the movie. So what'd you give it, Joe?
4 out of 10.
6.
And I'm giving it an 8. So a 6 together.
Yep.
Sweet.
All right.
Time to talk about the big boy.
All right, I have to ask, just out of curiosity.
So I
did
watched...
Pierre watch this?
No, he did
he
not.
watched the first 8 minutes of it.
And then he
he's
turned
like,
it off.
yeah, and he's like, I'm too scared to watch another Lynch film. So he went and watched Victorious instead. Because a bunch of our friends were watching Victorious. So he's like, I'm going to go do that. No, I watched this with Joe. I watched this with my girlfriend. And then last night I watched it with my friend Melody. I watched it 3 times the last, 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have only seen it once because during the other viewings, I was either tired or working.
My last viewing, I was falling asleep in the last 15 minutes because I was tired as fuck. It was 5 in the morning. I'm like, I gotta watch Mulholland Drive again. If I was awake more, I was going to watch it a 4th time. This is this might be the best movie I've ever seen.
You liked it that much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Maybe not the best. It's in my top 4.
Yeah, because
Wow.
this in terms of David Lynch's body of work, his 4 really big things is Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, Twin Peaks, and then this. And a lot of people, this is the one where everyone's like, David Lynch did it. He created, the perfect movie.
Well, Mulholland Drive is my friend Melody's favorite film, so I watched it with her, so.
God, do you even want to do the normal plot synopsis?
But beforehand, I know that we go over every film, and we don't really say, you can just listen to the podcast. There's one time I'm saying, if you haven't seen Mulholland Drive,
Please stop
this podcast. Go watch it. It'll change your fucking life. Probably. It might not be for you, but if it is,
it's
blow
worth
your
checking.
mind.
It is very much worth checking out. If you haven't seen a Lynch film,
Just go watch it.
It's a good jumping on.
It's a very good jumping on.
Come back if you don't want to, that's fine. But I just want to warn you, it's worth it. It's worth it going in blind.
As blind as possible. I don't even know what this movie was going to be about.
We're talking about spoilers now.
Okay.
All right, we are entering
the
the
film
spoiler zone.
begins with the wonderful little fever dream dance sequence where you get some this purple backdrop, you get lots of people swing dancing, and then you see our main character, Betty, who is played by Naomi Watts, and she's got that nice David Lynch bright light on her face, super overexposed. She's smiling. She's with her 2 traveling friends who we'll see here in a little
Irene
bit.
and her traveling companion.
Yes. And then we cut to it's basically them smiling. It fades over them dancing, and then we cut to Mulholland Drive, and there's this limousine driving, and we see our other main character, who I'm just going to call Rita for now. she's driving up and the limo stops and she's like, hey, what the heck? This isn't where we stop. And they turn around and they have a gun and they're like, get out of the car. But coincidentally, coming around the corner of this are two, like, cars that are just speeding.
With, like, teens and it just
they're, like, drag
and,
racing.
Like, they're just
drunk.
they're extremely drunk, probably.
This scene makes me laugh because I always forget about it, and then they come around the corner, wow! And I'm just like, oh,
it was
yeah.
really, really unexpected when it happened. I'm just like, oh no, there's this crazy tense moment. And then there's just fucking kids just screaming down Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, and they just immediately crash into the car, and Rita is the only survivor. So she stumbles down the hill, and we see her, she's kind of like wandering through like different like Hollywood like neighborhoods.
The only street it shows is Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah. And then she like finds this place, she kind of just crawls up into the bushes and falls asleep. And then while this is going on, we cut over
to Winkies, right?
Winkies. This is the Winkies.
Greatest
sequence.
scene ever made.
Yeah, this scene I remember.
Have you seen the film analysis video on just this scene?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'll have to show you it after this.
Yeah, so basically there are these two guys that are eating at this Winkies, and Winkies is clearly like Denny's.
Yeah.
It's Winkies.
It's standard American diner.
Yeah. And they're like sitting down, it's these two guys, and this dude's like, do you want to know why I chose to meet you here at Winkies? He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, well, I had this dream.
And the guy's like, dream, huh?
We were here, we were sitting directly right here, except it was pretty much the same, except it was half night. So it wasn't quite day and it wasn't quite night. It was somewhere in the middle.
And you were standing right over there by that counter.
And I was looking at you, and the only thing I knew was that I was afraid. And when I saw and I made eye contact with you, you were also afraid, which even made me more afraid. So you paid and we left. And we went around back, and there was this creepy man back there. And I realized he was the one doing all this. He was the one who was making me feel this way. And he's like, so you came here because you wanted to see if the man's back there. So he goes up and he pays, and then they like
stare at each other.
And the dream happens. They go around back, and we see, he's like, what's back here? And he turns the corner, and instantly this creepy man,
creepy
woman,
man,
this thing comes around the corner.
They describe them as a man. They're like, there's this guy back there. They seeing it.
Yeah.
He's behind everything.
Exactly.
You know.
And then he like just and like falls into the guy's arms.
Faints.
And then we see Betty arriving. She gets off the plane. She's got her two, Irene and the old guy who they don't name.
They don't say his name.
And she's like, wow, it's been so nice traveling with you. And she's like, likewise, good luck getting jobs in Hollywood as a famous actress. And she's like, I will.
And this scene's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Well, they're obviously very happy old couple. They get into the cab and they're just like, I don't know. What is it?
Did you notice anything off with their voices? Obviously, there's some pretty weird distortion on the guy's voice, but there's more than that. My friend Melody told me this, and then I paid attention the second two times that I was watching. The scene was recorded normally, and then it was dubbed over.
Okay, I didn't notice.
So, if you look at their words do not look like they're coming out of their mouths correctly.
Huh. No, I hadn't noticed that. I noticed a couple, because when I was
And especially when the guy starts talking, he has a weird, radio-sounding voice come out. He's like, ooh. It's like tinny.
Yeah, when I was watching it this time, I was kind of looking for, little details that I haven't seen before, because I've seen it quite a few times, and I'm familiar with, what everything should kind of represent in the story and that kind of sense. So I was paying less attention to the story and more to the filmmaking behind it. But I didn't notice that, no. So yeah, they get into this car and then we see, we flash back to Rita who wakes up. It's morning now. And we see that there's this woman. She's going on some sort of a trip. And so she sneaks into her house while she's putting stuff in the cab, and she just decides, I'm going to sleep on her kitchen floor after she leaves.
Yep.
Then we see some cops investigating the crash on Mulholland Drive. And rest in peace, my boy, Robert Forster.
That was Robert Forster.
Yeah. There's a deleted scene with these two guys.
Do they have sex?
No. I see why it got deleted. It's not a very good scene. But I kind of wish that there was a little bit more Robert Forster in the movie. I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, oh shit, Robert Forster, because I was watching the Twin Peaks The Return at the time.
He's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's in like Jackie Brown, he's in the like Twin Peaks The Return, he's in a lot of stuff, but
he's in Lucky Number 11.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that either. But so yeah, they find like a pearl earring, and they notice that it's in the like.
Were any of these teens wearing pearl earrings? And they're like, no. Then I guess somebody's missing.
Yeah. So, and that's basically it. He kind of like looks into the city of LA and he's like, oh man. But so we cut back. Betty arrives. She meets Coco, who is like the apartment manager.
The landlord, pretty much.
And
the manager.
The person who was leaving earlier was Betty's aunt.
Aunt Ruth.
Aunt Ruth. And yeah, so she decides to let her in, and she's kind of just exploring the house. And
the entire conversation between Betty and Coco has some weirdly stilted, strained inflection to it.
That's just kind of David Lynch's dialogue writing.
Well, it was only. I really only noticed it with those. Like, it was definitely prevalent in a lot of the scenes. With
I think
Betty.
it's much more prevalent in the first.
Until the last
of the two parts of the film.
Definitely the second part.
Yeah,
which is why
I think that's.
I'm excited to hear what your theory is on the film.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it'll be anything groundbreaking, but yeah, but you'll definitely hear my 2 cents on the film.
I'm gonna go piss.
Oh, and more importantly, Coco mentioned, this is a very important moment, talks about a prized fighting kangaroo punching up the place.
Shit all over the place and leave it a mess.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
It is the most important.
The key to the puzzle. We figured it out. It's the kangaroo. The kangaroo represents David Lynch punching the Hollywood executives over his treatment on Dune.
Okay.
No, I just made a note of prize fighting kangaroo. Not that I would forget that bit of dialogue, but funny.
Yeah. So she gets let into her Aunt Ruth's apartment, and she's like looking around, and she goes into the bedroom where she sees some clothes just on the floor, and then she goes into the bathroom and finds Rita showering. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were going to be here. I thought it was just me. I'm sure my Aunt Ruth told you about me. I'm Betty. Hi, I'm her niece. I'm here.
Yeah.
And what's your name? And then Rita blinks. She doesn't know her name.
She has amnesia from the car crash.
Mm-hmm. So she gets out of the shower and she sees that, because her Aunt Ruth used to be like a famous actor. So she sees like the name Rita from like a character. And
some sort of poster on the wall.
So she takes the name Rita and she goes out. She's like, I'm Rita. You know, I just need to sleep. I was in a bad accident, but I need to sleep. And she's like, no, you shouldn't sleep. And she's like, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
So that happens.
And then we cut to one of the stranger parts early on in the movie.
The hitman. This scene
is... I loved this scene much.
This scene, it's so weird because you watch it and it's so funny, but the performances convey it like that woman's screams are like so realistic. Like, I'm like, this is like realistic and terrible, but it's also fucking hilarious.
The scene is, we see our two dudes hanging out in the office. They're kind of catching up. You can tell they're old friends.
Yeah.
And, the conversation's pretty normal for the most part.
And then the attention gets brought to a little black book that's sitting on the dude's table.
And immediately after the black book is brought up, our main dude, our hitman, which we don't know is a hitman, just shoots the guy sitting at a desk as soon as he mentions the black book.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the history of the world in telephone numbers.
I figured out where I know that guy from, the hitman.
He's in
Lucifer in Supernatural. And he's very good in Supernatural.
He does other stuff. Isn't he like, I might be getting him mixed up, but isn't he like in The Bad Guy in the first, not like the bad guy, but he plays like the douchebag boyfriend in like the early seasons of Dexter, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mixing him up with someone else.
I do not know. He's in Lost as well.
Huh.
But, so he kills him, takes the black book, but after he does that, he tries to frame it like it was a suicide. So, you know, he wipes off the gun,
This seems so funny.
puts it in this dude's dead hands, and as he's like kind of manipulating it to make it look like he shot himself, the gun goes off and shoots the person in the next room over. And it's this large lady, and she's just fucking screaming.
Yeah,
And he walks in.
something bit me
she's
bad.
like, something bit me bad.
And this is the first time watching this movie that I realized that he has like the Alexander the Great thing going on with his eyes, where one's dark and one's light.
Oh.
I had never noticed that before. So
Interesting.
I was like, oh.
So he goes over, kind of act like he's helping her.
And then he just starts trying to choke her.
Yep.
And she's like, no! And she just falls right on top
Starts
of him.
beating the shit out of him. He's pushing her off.
Yeah.
And eventually he starts strangling her out into the hallway, bringing her over into the office where he killed the first dude.
But there's like a custodian
And the fucking janitor's there.
and he's just standing at the end of the hallway. And he's like, dude, help me out, man. She's hurt real bad.
You gotta call 911, man. I can't do this shit on my own.
Come on, man. And he just goes in, and then immediately they're both shot. And then he's like, all right, one final shot. Because the vacuum cleaner he had, or the floor buffer, whatever the fuck it is.
Vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, it kind of looks, it was like the shape of a floor buffer, but
Yeah.
it's like a vacuum cleaner. And he's like, all right, one final one. And he shoots that, and it like starts smoking and sets off like this giant alarm. And he's like, fuck it. So he just climbs out the window.
And then we see him back at Winky's.
Or
Or was that, no, that was later on.
that's way later on.
No. Because he immediately goes after, go to Winky's.
That's a little bit. This is one of my actual gripes with the film. I'm going to bring it up since we're here.
Okay.
I thought the pacing around this little section, it's only for a few scenes, is really weird. Because there's like when we follow Betty and Rita, it feels like it should be like one scene.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like interspliced with two different scenes, but then one of those other scenes is like split into two, because you get the part where it cuts away, the two with the hitmen, and then it focuses on
Does it go to Adam?
Adam.
Okay.
Yes.
I loved the pacing of these. I don't know why.
See,
I really like the cuts.
See, it felt like it was mostly the Betty and Rita stuff, because it has them in the bedroom, and they like find Rita's purse, and they like find all the money with the key, and they're basically trying to figure out like everything involving her in Mulholland Drive, and it felt odd that because it would like cut away from them in the bedroom looking at the money, it would cut to this different scene, and then it would cut back to them in the bedroom. And I get it given what my interpretation of the film is, but just from like a film perspective, it felt a little oddly paced.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
It's just a minor gripe though. It's not
but
like major.
I don't think it detracts from it. I think it adds to it. So then after the hitman, we go to Adam.
Yeah. So basically,
I love Justin Theroux in this movie.
yeah. So yeah, he plays this director named Adam Keshner.
Yeah.
And
What's the photo for?
yeah, his performance is fucking great in this. So basically, he's recasting the lead actress in this movie that he's making.
Do you know what the movie's called?
I do not.
Because I was working on these. There's this thing that Lynch did that's these 10 hints for the film, like deciphering the film. And one of them is like pay attention to Adam Keshner and what the film he's making is called. I'm like, what the fuck is it called?
What was it called?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't catch it.
No, my last watch I was trying to do it, but then I was so tired that I think I missed it.
I'll have to look up that.
I had like a bunch of papers and I was trying to like get all the information. I was going crazy last night.
See, I'm different from your usual Lynch watcher because a lot of Lynch watchers will watch his movies and they'll like take everything to heart and like will like focus on the micro details. A lot of people do that with Twin Peaks. I more take it as like what it's supposed to emotionally resonate and kind of like.
I feel that too, but just because like I also love puzzles. Like when I was in high school, I attempted to find out who the Zodiac Killer was.
Of course,
like for like a year, like. Over a year, I was working on stuff. Like, I told some of my friends about it, but I was mostly like privately. I like had like so much information. I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. I never did because I was in high school and I was in Hawaii. There was no way I was gonna figure out.
You're just going over.
But I was trying to get. I was trying to because there's that one decipher that like never got deciphered. That one cipher.
Yeah, which
I was probably like, I'm gonna do it.
Which is probably just gibberish in the first place.
Yeah. It didn't end up working out. I did not figure out who the Zodiac Killer. But I've always had these obsessions in David Lynch films. It's the same way.
That's what I like about David Lynch films, though, because you can either just like take it like how I do, where I just kind of like, oh yeah, I like what this is kind of trying to hint at emotionally, or you can try to like find the nitty-gritty details and see what it actually represents.
I've watched it both ways now. Like the second time, I was mostly just feeling the emotions.
But yeah, so he's in the process of recasting the main actor in his film. And there's this meeting that they're having with two, like, very high up producers who basically come up and they make, like, a big scene because they're, like, very hard to please. And they, like, have, like, one of them's, like
the Giuliani brothers or something like that.
Yeah. And one of them's, like, espresso. And they're like, all right, we've like searched this is like one of the most gourmet espressos in the world. Like we did our research. And then he gets like the espresso and he's like, napkin. And he like gets the napkin and he like just takes one sip of the coffee and just instantly like spits it out. And this is all like
really funny.
Yeah, I like the way the scene's built up because like they're sitting there and initially he's like, what's with the photo? And they don't really tell him. They're just like, this is
the entire time.
He's like, what's the photo for?
The entire time, like Adam's just being overshadowed by the two big boy execs.
Yeah, it's definitely a clash of like,
and he's just
egos.
like, what the fuck is going on here?
And then the one more quieter producer who's just been fucking glaring at us this entire time, just
coffee. I think he yells coffee. What does he yell?
No, the one who didn't like the coffee yells coffee, while the other one's like, "This is the girl. Oh. This is the girl you're going to pick for the film." And he's like, "No, this is my film." And he's like, "Not anymore." And then he's like, "Fuck!" So he just leaves, and then he goes down.
But he does see a picture of the actress. The actress's name is Camilla
Rhodes.
Camilla Rhodes.
So he sees this. He goes down, and he basically like smashes their limo and drives home.
Yep.
And then we cut back to like Betty and Rita. This is still part of that like whole editing sequence where I'm like, the pacing is a little weird here. And they're basically like, do you remember anything? Like Mulholland Drive. I remember Mulholland Drive. There might have been a crash there. We should go inquire about that.
She says, we can just pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Adam. And this is also one of my favorite scenes, where he gets home and finds his wife sleeping with the man, the myth, the legend, Hannah Montana's dad.
Hannah Montana's dad.
And he's like, he just walks in, he knows instantly what's going on, and he doesn't say anything. He just goes over.
The build up to this scene, I did not expect them to be having sex. I thought he was going to get murdered at this point because he had just fucked with these executives and he got home and the like music, there's a lot of like tension. It feels like a horror movie. It feels like he's about to die. And then I'm like, oh, it's Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah. And then he just goes over, grabs her jewelry box. And she's like, what are you doing? That's my jewelry. And he just goes out to the garage, grabs some pink paint, takes it.
Like pours it in.
Yeah, he pours it in, and she like catches him right as he's doing it. So he's like trying to quickly like rub it into all the jewelry, and she starts like hitting him. So he like pushes her onto the counter.
He's like, ugh.
And Billy Ray's like, "Hey, I don't care what she's done. You don't hit a woman," and then just decks him.
Yep.
Throws him out, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!" So he drives away, and he's covered in paint, and his hair's all fucked up. And then, yeah. So we cut back.
Important to note, there were some articles after we first watched the movie that Billy Ray Cyrus is like, "Yep, if it weren't for this movie, Hannah Montana wouldn't exist."
Really? In the worst of ways. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, David Lynch introduced the devil into my life.
And it's just really funny.
Like, can I get a bit of? Did
No.
you guys like look?
I didn't read the article.
Oh, okay.
I'll read it again after, though.
Because I'm curious to see like what it was. Because some actors, the majority of actors who work with David Lynch seem to have a good time, but you'll always get like that small percentage who are like, David Lynch is like the fucking worst, which is really interesting. Like Michael J. Anderson, who is in this movie, he plays Mr.
Wait, what did you say?
Michael J. Anderson, the dwarf.
Oh, yeah,
He plays.
do they ever say his
They
name?
do. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Anyway, so after that scene at home,
Rook. Yeah.
do we cut back to Betty and Rita?
Yeah, they go to the Winkies and they call the police from that little payphone.
Yeah.
And that they're like, was there an accident? Yes. Who is this? Hang up.
Yeah.
Then they go inside and they see that the waitress has the name Diane.
Diane.
Yeah.
And then that clicks with Rita. She's like, that name, Diane. I was going to see Diane. So they like look up Diane. I don't remember what the last name was.
Solon?
Yes.
Okay, I swear there was another scene involving the hitman. He goes to...
Yeah, there's a scene where he goes to the Winkies and he's asking around for Rita, and he asks like a prostitute who bums a cigarette off of him.
Yeah, and then they find the spooky man.
They don't find the spooky man.
Thought they did.
What?
The hitman, when that scene where he's looking for like Rita at the Winkies and he's like talking to the prostitute, they don't go and they don't find the spooky man around the wall, do they?
No, they don't. They
Okay,
just go and they just go fuck in the van.
Right, okay. For some reason I was just like, I swear the spooky man shows up
spooky
again.
man only shows the bum outside of Winkies only shows up in 2 scenes.
Okay.
Yeah, that. Well, one in the beginning and one towards the end.
Yeah.
And then there's like a shot of the face. Like,
Also, this wasn't Winkies either.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, I think it was called Hoffy's.
yeah, it was a different place.
It was a hot dog. But it was
Right.
meant to look just like Winkies.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, so they, when Betty and Rita are at the Winkies, they see the name Diane and they, come up with...
Start tracking down this person, Diane Selwyn.
Yep.
And
then
They call her, and they're like, "Isn't it weird calling yourself?" And they call,
and they get the answering machine, and
she's
they hear it's not
"That's
Rita's
not
voice.
me, but I know her."
So they just look up her address, and they decide, yeah, we're gonna go visit her tomorrow. Because I've got my Hollywood audition, we'll go after that.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is going on, oh god, really bad.
Adam
Yeah.
finds himself kind of hanging out in this little slummy motel.
Well, it's a place, it seems like he goes to pretty often.
Yeah.
Cookie's place.
Yep.
This guy named Cookie there, and Cookie basically lets him know, he's like, look, some guys
Cookie's
came from
cool.
I really
was
like Cookie.
some guys from his bank come and earlier, and so he was like, yeah, basically, you've got no money, you're broke, and whoever or whatever is looking for you knows exactly where you are. So he's like, fuck. So he calls his secretary, and his secretary's like,
Yeah, you have no money. And he's like, "What do you mean I have no money?" And she's like, "I know you have money, but you have no money."
yeah, they put a freeze, they freezed all your accounts, and you can stay with me, but and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, all right, well, if you really want to fix this, I got to call.
Do you know the cowboy?
Yeah, do you know the cowboy? And he's like, what the fuck? No, I don't know any cowboy. And she's like, well, go and I'll set up a meeting with the cowboy. He's like, what am I going to do? Go to the ranch and meet with the cowboy? Kind of. If you go up on top of, I forget quite where, but somewhere up on top of like the Hollywood Hills somewhere, there's there's like a ranch where you'll meet
Go meet the cowboy.
the cowboy. So she's like, do you want me to set up a meeting with him? And he's like, yeah, I guess. Might as well. I have no fucking money. So, she sets up the meeting with the cowboy and he goes to meet with him. And fun fact, this was like a friend of David Lynch's and he could not memorize lines for the life of him.
The cowboy?
The cowboy. So they have cue cards, like, that they're, like, holding for him while he's reading his lines.
I think that...
It kind of adds...
I think that makes, like, this scene's scary.
Very scary.
Like, he shows up and he looks all goofy, has a big hat on, and then by the time he starts talking, I'm just like, what the
also,
fuck is going
before
on?
this, we talked about Mr. Roke, but we didn't talk about his scene. There's a scene where they go and they talk to Mr. Roke, who is, like, kind of clearly, like, the king of Hollywood. Someone who pulls the strings.
This shadow organization, he just sits in this chair.
Yeah,
in this room.
There's, like, a scene where they basically go up and his, like, one of the, like, producers is like, hey, yeah, he wouldn't hire the lead actress. Should we, fire him? And he's like, no, cancel the film. Shut everything down, shut everything down. So, we'll do that then. So, that scene was explained, and then they start the meeting with the cowboy, and the cowboy talks to him a little bit, and I like this scene because he's, like, really challenging this guy's character, because he's like, would you agree that a man's attitude determines the outcome of his life? And instantly he's like, yeah. He's like, now, do you really think that? Did you think about it? Like, did you say?
That's what you want me to.
He's like, no, I agree with you. He's like, what did I say? And he, like, does that thing where he kind of has to rewind for a second, but he does, like, pretty much verbatim.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He's like, all right, well, look here. Do you like buggy rides? Yeah, I guess.
How many drivers are in a buggy?
One.
Well, maybe I'm driving. Maybe you want to stay along. And if you do, you gotta cast Camilla.
Yeah, so basically...
You better stop being a smart aleck and cast him.
Yeah, so basically, he fucking lays down and he's like...
If you're good, you'll see me once more. But if you don't do good, you'll see me
two more times.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you have a good night, and then just disappears into the dark.
Yeah, because he explains, he's like, yeah, you're gonna audition a lot of girls, but once you get Camilla, the girl who you saw in the photo, you're gonna say, this is the girl. So we cut back to the day, and it's Betty, she's practicing the scene. She's like, why are you still here? And it's like that little misdirection where you think initially, like, oh, she's talking to Rita, but it's her rehearsing the scene. It's corny, but she's like, all right, well, I'm going to go do this scene. I'm going to go do this performance, and then we'll go check out Diane's place after this. So she goes and she auditions for the part, and her manager is played by, I don't know the actor's name, but the dude from Return of the Living Dead. Frank in that movie. He's pretty great in this. For the short duration he's in it. He's great in Return of the Living Dead. He's a really fun actor to watch. He always gives it's kind of hammy performances, but they're fun.
Okay.
But yeah, basically she comes in, she does this scene, and there's
completely different energy from when she was rehearsing it.
Yeah, because she kind of hears how, because they're
like, let's play it close.
Yeah, because they're like, it's obviously like some pretty scummy Hollywood audition.
Let's fuck.
And they also bring up, the director's like, now, don't rush this line this time. He's like, acting is reacting. They say the line that way and I play off of it. So as long as she doesn't rush it, I won't rush it. So let's play this nice and close and nice and slow. So she plays it with a completely different energy than she played when she was performing with Rita, obviously. Yeah. And she gets really into it, really sexualized. They're like real fucking close to each other's faces. She like plants his hand on her ass. And gives a really, really good performance. I think I agree with the director's notes because he's like, yeah, it was good, very humanistic, a little forced maybe, which I think it was kind of maybe a little overdone.
But it was really good.
But it was really
good.
So basically there was also a casting director in there who was just kind of sitting in. She was too expensive for the project. Mm-hmm. But basically she's like, yeah, we'll walk, and
everyone was blown away with her.
Yeah. She's like, we'll walk her out to her car, but they're basically like, look, that film's never going to get made. He's a nice guy. I would know. I was married to him for 10 years, but yeah, this film's not going to get made. So come with us over to this set where you can audition for this film. And I remember like the first time I watched this movie, I got like super excited because I thought like Adam was going to like pick Naomi Watts instead of Camila Rhodes. And that's the route I thought it was going my like first watch through. I should have known better because I was a little familiar with David Lynch at this point. Fun fact about the first time I watched this movie. I watched it for the first time the night that the finale of season 3 of Twin Peaks premiered.
Oh, so not too long ago. Like,
Yeah.
that was only like 2.5
I only got into David Lynch within the last like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So,
Sometimes I just feel like Thomas was probably born watching Eraserhead.
no, I wish, but no, it's more recent. But
They go to the casting.
yeah, they go to the casting, and she like, makes like this like locked eye contact, and the director's like auditioning lots of like big actors for it, like he said during the producer scene.
Six
He's like,
huge actors
he's
want
like-
this role.
some of Hollywood's biggest leading ladies want this role, and you want me to cast this woman? There's no way!
the
There's
photo
no
for?
way! There's no way! God, I love his, like, deliveries in this movie. But, so he, like, tries one woman out, and she's pretty good, and then, he sees Camila Rhodes, and
And he's like not even really paying attention.
Yeah,
not doing
he's
anything.
just completely zonked out.
yeah, he looks completely disinterested, and then he, like, just calls one of his, like, literal assistants over, and he's like, yeah, get Jack over here. I think Jack's the name of the guy. But, so Jack shows up, and he makes him wait a second. He's like, I heard that you wanted me, and he's just, like, silent. Looks, and he's like, this
The photo.
This
is
is
the girl.
Excellent choice, Adam.
Yeah, and it's very tense, and then he, like, looks back and makes eye contact with
Naomi Watts.
Naomi
and
Watts.
then she looks at her watch and she's like, I gotta go.
Oh shit, I gotta go. Rita needs me. So they go, and they're in the cab going to Diane's. And there are some like men outside her house, like some Secret Service men looking kind of deal. So they like both get down, and then they go and they find like her name on like the apartment listings, and they go and they knock on her door. This woman opens, and they're like, Diane? And she's like, no, I traded apartments with her last week. She's over in like 17 instead of 12. Here, I'll go with you guys. And they're like, oh no, that's fine. No, really, I left some stuff over there. But she gets like a phone call at the last second. She's like, I'll be right over. So Diane and Rita go over there. Not Diane and Rita. Rita and Betty go over there. And then, they like knock on the door. No one answers. So they open the window and
They sneak in.
yeah, they sneak in. And then they go into the back bedroom. And Diane's dead. She's lying dead on the bed. Or who we presume to be Diane. And Rita screams and they
This
walk.
body looks so horrifying.
Yeah, it's presumably been because she's like, oh yeah,
She's been
Diane's
seen
been
her
gone for a few
days.
weeks.
Yeah.
But like this is like probably maybe one of the best like dead bodies I've seen in a film. And I'm like, did David Lynch just go and murder a woman?
Maybe.
Did he murder a woman for
I don't know. Did he murder a baby for Eraserhead?
That's these questions. How does he get these really realistic?
He's got a guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't ask questions. He knows he can get authentic looking props for his movies.
Oh yes. But yeah, so there's just this decomposing woman in this bed. They like
Freak out.
Yeah, the neighbor's like knocking on the door. She eventually like comes out, but no one answers. So she like leaves, and then they like burst out, and then they go back to their house. And Rita's freaking out, and she starts like trying to cut off her hair. And
Betty's like, I know what you're trying to do. Let me help.
yeah,
And-
so they get her a wig.
Yeah, which is like the aunt's wig that was just there.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's a
And-
nice blonde wig. That
And it
both-
looks terrible.
yeah, it looks terrible, but they look both
She's
have that like
I'm so-
iconic
and she's
short
like,
blonde
They're
hair.
like, oh, you look so different. And then they have sex.
Yeah, they sleep
And
together.
I've been like, finally! I was waiting for the gay stuff the whole movie!
Yep.
Because this movie's very gay.
Yeah.
Like the whole film, they're like the way they're talking to each other, like
The way they're interacting, it's just a lot of
like look at
lingering
David
gay
Lynch making
energy.
a gay movie.
Yeah. So, she basically like comes in. She's like, you don't have to wear that wig around the house. And she's like, I just like the way it looks. I'm gonna take it off before bed. I'm gonna go to bed on the couch. And she's like, no, I should
come later.
No, come
Then
here.
she gets naked.
and just lays in
Time
there,
to-
like laying there. They
It's like, woo,
Yeah.
gay!
They eventually do the deed, and then they're sleeping, and then Rita wakes up in the middle of the night. Silencio.
She starts just speaking Spanish.
Silencio.
Yeah, she says some other stuff, I think.
Yeah, she says a couple other things.
And then Betty
Betty wakes up and she's like, what
do
are you doing? What are you doing?
She's like, I need you to come with me.
Right now?
Like, it's 2 a.m. in the morning.
Please, just go with me somewhere. So they go, and there's like this cab ride, and they like stop at this like really creepy place. And I really like this shot because like you see the cab pull up from like really far away, and you see them get out, and it's like this really grungy looking parking lot.
And then the fucking camera just starts running at them.
zooms
No,
in.
it's not even a zoom. It's like a guy with the camera just straight running.
I bet it was David Lynch, like, let me do this one.
I really loved that shot.
Yeah, no,
Of like
it's
just the camera just going.
And then they get inside, and there's this dude, and he's like, everything here is pre-recorded.
Points to the balcony. Thunder. Points to another thing. Thunder.
We can picture a sound, and you can almost hear it. Imagine a muted clarinet. And then you hear the
Clarinet. Yep.
and then
A muted trumpet! And then a guy comes out playing a trumpet.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of mimicking like it is actually recorded, like it's perfectly timed with it.
and then he like pulls it away from his mouth, and he's like, see? And then he steps away from the stage, and then Cookie comes out. It's Cookie. And he introduces, I can't remember this performer's name. She's great, though.
Rana Del Rio or something?
Yes.
Something like
and
that,
she
yeah.
does a cover in Spanish of Don McLean's Crying.
What is with David Lynch having just
Fantastic musical performances in his movies.
He knows how to do it. At Twin Peaks Season 3, every episode ends with like a live performance from
From
a different
him?
band. No, not from him.
Does he ever sing? Show up to sing?
No, not that I can recall.
Is David Lynch in Twin Peaks? Does he ever show up?
Yeah, no, he's like a main character. In,
Nice. Is his name David Lynch?
No, it's Gordon Cole.
It's David. It's David Grinch.
He's more of a minor character in like the first 2 seasons, original series, but he becomes a main character in like the 3rd season.
Is he really sexy in it?
Of course.
David Lynch is sexy!
There's one famous line where
David Lynch, will you marry me?
because he's like hitting on a woman in Twin Peaks, and she's like, would you like some pie? And he's like, yes, massive quantities. It's great. So wholesome. You guys gotta watch Twin Peaks soon.
Massive quantities. I'm probably watching Blue Velvet in the next couple days. I'm honestly this week I'm gonna just probably plow through every Lynch film.
Oh my! I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing because I can't have you out lynching me. But
Sound bites taken out of context.
I'm gonna out lynch Thomas.
I'm just gonna lynch Thomas.
there you go. I'm probably better for everyone.
Pierre sent a message when he was gonna watch Mulholland Drive, and he's like, "Unfortunately, I have begun to lynch again." And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
It was really, really funny. But yeah, no, she delivers a amazing performance. Both Betty and Rita are like breaking down.
Betty
crying.
starts fucking
Yeah,
convulsing.
Yep.
And they're like, what? And then the lady, like, the song's still going, but then she suddenly collapses.
Yep.
I have a
I thought
theory
that was-
about this particular part.
Everything is pre-recorded. Is that it?
See, I thought that.
It's
and then,
not
like,
really that. I think that definitely has some resonance. But
I'm David.
But I'll explain once we talk about the full movie.
Yeah.
About some of my interpretations of it.
But, Betty's freaking out. They look inside of her purse,
And there's a blue
and there's
box.
a blue box.
Did we talk about the key earlier?
We
When they-
mentioned it.
We briefly mentioned that they found a key when they were like going through the purse with all the money, and they put it in a hat box.
Yeah. So they make their way home.
And then, so basically, like, Rita holds up the key and the box, and then Betty disappears. She's like,
Yeah,
hey,
she's like, Betty? Like, Betty walks in the room, puts something down, and it, like, goes over to, like, the camera pans over, and she, like, looks at the box, and then she looks up, she's like, Betty?
yeah.
Betty?
So she just kind of shrugs, and then, like, puts the key in the box and turns it, and then we get this shot where it zooms into the keyhole, and then it, like, zooms back out as, like,
Yeah,
the
it
box
zooms
falls
in, and
against
the box falls in.
And then Aunt Ruth walks in.
Yep, and kind of looks around, the box is gone, she's like, huh? And then, yeah.
The movie gets fucking crazy at this point.
Yeah, this is where it starts to unhinge. So we see some flashes of like images, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly what, but then eventually we flash to the body in the bed, Diane. And then we
The
wake
cowboy
up.
comes in,
Yeah.
and he's like, time to wake up, little
That's
lady.
what it is.
Yeah.
Second time we see the cowboy in the movie. So who knows? Is she doing good? Is she doing bad?
Yeah. And then it flashes her dead body, and then it flashes her like alive, and then it
Yeah,
flashes
in the
dead
same
body.
position.
I think. Yeah, it does it a couple times, and then she like gets up because there's a knocking at her
And
door.
then it's Naomi Watts.
Yep.
Yeah, and this Naomi Watts is Diane,
Yes.
and her neighbor had been knocking. She's like, "It's been 3 weeks. Can I get my stuff?" And she's like, "Fine, get in."
Fine, whatever.
And I really like this sequence because she's grabbing her stuff, and through this little scene, we see that she's got like a little blue key on her coffee table.
I don't think it's there at this point yet. It shows up.
It's
but-
there when she grabs the ashtray.
Okay, because
Because
it shows
that
it
triggers-
shows the coffee table like beforehand, and it's not there, and then it like just appears.
Yeah, so that happens, and then we cut to basically she like goes and starts making coffee, and then she like kind of turns her head, and
she's
we
like,
see,
"You're back."
We see Rita.
Yeah, and she's like, "Camilla, you're back."
Yep, and we find
And
out
then-
this is Camilla Rhodes.
Yep.
And then like it turns back to her face, and she's like smiling. This little thing that like this little performance, like 5 seconds scenes, is probably like maybe my favorite performance in the entire movie. Just the way her like face morphs.
Yeah.
She goes from like pure happiness, and then it like just like goes down in like sadness and then
Yep.
anger and then just like terror. Really,
Yeah.
she's like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back, and it's her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just like standing there alone.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's making coffee, and then she like crawls over. She's like walking back towards the couch, and then we see a shot of her crawl over, and the ashtray is like back on the table.
Yep.
Which lets us know that like we got back in time a little bit, and she's there with Camila. They're getting funky on the couch, and then Camila's like, "We shouldn't do this anymore."
Yeah, we shouldn't do this anymore.
And
We
she's
should
like,
stop.
She's like, "It's him, isn't it?" And we cut to another flashback where we see that they were at this movie set with Adam as the director.
And he's like, and,
Is Adam his actual name?
Yeah,
Did
it's
they
Adam.
reveal- okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
and Camilla, which is Rita. So
Yeah.
Camilla is like in a car, and he's like, "No, I'm not trying to tell you how to act, but just let me show you, and maybe you can get what I'm going for."
Yeah,
and
he's
he
talking
goes
to-
and
he's
like,
talking to
"Just
another
do this."
male
And
actor.
he's like touching her chin. He's like, "Just let her hand fall into just onto
Yep.
your chest, and then just lean in and just."
And the kiss should be a continuation of that move.
And then just kiss her, and then they start making out, and
Cut the lights, and then the lights cut out, and we
and Diane's just like
Just
on the
breaking
verge
down.
of tears over there,
and
like
then
watching.
And then we cut back to her in her apartment, right?
she's like, "Get the fuck out!"
she's, like,
It
pushing
has to be
Camilla out.
this. She's like, "You think I'm gonna make this easy for you? There's no way, because it's not easy for me!" And then like slams the door on her, and then is it here where we like cut to the like where the phone's ringing? And it's like the car's outside waiting.
I think so, right? We cut back to that whole fight
Because
scene.
think so.
her meeting is after the dinner scene. So
Yes.
So she goes. Camilla's like, "Hey, I really appreciate you coming. The car's outside. Well, I'll see you soon." And they give.
Before that, we see Diane just fucking losing it over everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's super upset. And then
She gets in the car, and they say like
yeah, they do that thing.
address on Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, and then they stop and she's like, what do you do? Like it's like
It's
when
the same
Data-
thing
yeah.
at the beginning, but they're like,
we don't stop here.
surprise!
Yeah,
And
and
they-
Camila comes out like a little like path on the side.
come
of the
on this shortcut, and they like go on this walk together, and they show up at Adam's house.
And yeah, she seems very disenchanted. She's like, I'm sorry I'm late. And they're like, yeah, well, whatever. Let's go inside. So there's like a toast. Oh, we also meet Coco, who turns out to be Adam's mom.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see the actress who is portraying Camila Rhodes in
And then
the
she's just
previous
like
part of the
another
film.
lady who
She's
like,
just another lady
who makes out with Adam, but Camilla's making out with Adam this whole time as well.
She also makes out with Camila.
Yep.
She kisses
Yeah.
Camila.
Yep.
Which makes Naomi Watts very jealous, Diane. So basically, they're like, should we announce it? Should we announce it? Yeah, we're getting married. Woo!
Actually, I don't think they say it. Like
I don't think
they're about to. They're like, they're like kissing. They're like,
Well,
and then it just cuts.
Okay.
She like drops her, something shatters, and it cuts to the diner.
Okay. And fun fact, I don't know if you guys noticed this.
What?
At that dinner party where they like are doing all that cowboy walks.
Yeah, no, I saw the cowboy,
which is the
very.
so you see him
So
two more
third
times.
time
like,
we see him in the
oh
film.
no!
So we know that two more
know
times
that-
something bad's
Yeah, we know
going
that
on.
this film is going to be a tragedy.
Yes.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is we cut to that thing at Winky's. She's talking to the hitman.
Yep.
And she's like, here's a picture. He's like, oh, dude, what the fuck? Don't show me the picture of this here.
And she's like, everyone in Hollywood's got a headshot resume. Whatever.
and he's like, you got the money? She's like, yeah. He's like, all right, well,
She pulls out the purse, right? Or
yeah, she kind of like
with the
shows
money.
him all the money. And he's like, all right, well, second you give me that, done deal. There's no going back. Sure you want this? She's like, I
more than anything.
yeah, and he gives him the money. And then
And this is Diana. It's the same girl you saw like have sex with the hitman earlier, just with a different face.
yeah, and
Yep.
then she's got the name tag that says Betty.
Yeah, the waitress shows up and she has the name tag Betty, and she's like, that's where she got the name.
Yeah. And then he holds up the little blue key and he's like, once you see this, I'll leave it in the spot that we talked about. You'll know the job is done.
And she's like, what does it open? And he just like starts laughing.
And so
And then does it
Cut back to the apartment, right?
we cut back to the apartment.
This is the final scene.
This is the final scene. She's ferociously masturbating. And this is my
Crying.
favorite. This is
Have you done this? I keep talking to people, and apparently they don't masturbate when they cry.
I have not done this.
And you don't either?
No,
What
you
the
can't say
fuck
that.
is wrong
Can't
with
say
you guys?
I've masturbated when I'm very angry before, but never when I'm like crying.
Oh,
But,
no, I've masturbated a lot.
I
while crying.
love this scene. There's like, once it starts getting towards the end of the masturbating scene, like it like shows the flash, the rock wall. And she's like, and it's just
Oh,
like,
wait, at the Winky's Diner, it goes, we forgot, that's when the bum shows up. It goes outside.
yeah, it shows the back
bum,
and it has
shows
the blue
them have
box.
the box.
And out of the keyhole
they drop
falls
it.
out Irene and her little traveling
Yeah,
companion.
they're little tiny.
And they're just like, running. And yeah, we get to the scene where she's masturbating. And fun fact about this scene, this was extremely awkward for Naomi Watts to shoot. They talked about it a little bit in that interview I was watching. So David Lynch was like,
He's just like over her. He's like, okay, now masturbate.
well, he wanted to create both something that challenged her and took her past her boundaries, but he still didn't want to like take it to the point where she was like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he like built
He's
like
a
this
nice man.
Yeah, so he built like this little tent around her, so like no one had to like really see the specifics of what was going on in the scene. And to get like some of the reactions out of her, because he's like, all right, start. And she's like, got to the point where she wanted to stop. She's like, all right, David, I kind of want to like slow down now. And he's like, okay, Naomi, but just kept rolling. So she's like talking in the interview. She's like, that made me pissed. So I just started showing it in my performance. So that's kind of like what's going on there. So yeah, I just think it's really interesting. And she said that she had a really hard time because she was like, she thought like when filming the scene, it was all going to be like a one cut kind of deal. She didn't realize that they were going to be cutting like back and forth between her like face and like that. She thought it was going to be like a one kind of thing. And she thought that the rock thing was like added in. Mm-hmm. And I was watching the interview and Dave was like, no, the rocks were always going to be there. And it's like, yeah, she's got to get her rocks off. But,
God damn it.
And then she just starts hearing screaming.
there's like a pounding on the door.
And she's like hearing screaming, and she gets up, and then we see them come in, and then suddenly they're huge again,
and then they just grow inside,
and they're just like laughing, and she's like screaming. She's obviously completely lost her mind at this point. And she runs in to her room. She's screaming, and she grabs the gun out of her drawer and just shoots herself in the head. And she's laying in the same position.
Yep, and then the smoke's like rising behind.
And it's the same kind of smoke effect that was on the car at the beginning when they crashed.
Yeah, and then we get that smoke effect's very common in like David Lynch work. And then we get like the cut of like the like monster's face one more time. Like it's like kind of like faded over everything, and then we get glimpses of this during the Silencio scene. They don't like focus too much on this character, but there's like a character up in the balcony.
Blue hair, and she's like Silencio.
And then the movie just cuts to black.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And it says Finn.
And then the movie just kind of ends.
Executive produced by.
But London, you probably want to talk the most, so go ahead.
Well, hold on. I want to hear Thomas's interpretation first before I delve into mine.
Okay.
I feel like me and Thomas probably have. I think my interpretation is the most popular one. So
I mean, yeah, mine's probably not anything new because, like I said when we were like reviewing David Lynch, like with Eraserhead, David Lynch works from a point of dream logic.
Yeah.
So obviously, most of this movie is some sort of like dream-like DMT trip post-mortem for her as she's like dying or post-death. And it just kind of takes like the details of what really happened and jumbles them around like a dream does. And the film is very much like kind of like her subconscious trying to come to terms with what she did while she's like in denial. Mm-hmm. And like any time that they like bring up like any line of dialogue throughout the film is like basically something directed at her character. Like there's a specific line with the cowboy scene that I remember being like, oh, that was like directed at her. Which is there's the obvious like, if you see me one more time, you did good, two more times, and then obviously it's not Adam who sees the cowboy later, but just me, the audience, and we know it's like supposed to be Diane's character who's seeing the cowboy. Yeah. But there's another line there I don't quite remember, but I remember the thing I wanted to talk about, the Silencio scene that I felt like kind of holds some resonance. So the song she's singing is a cover of Don McLean's Crying. Crying without you. So it's obviously like a breakup song. She doesn't have Camila Rhodes in her life anymore. But I like the part where she drops down dead, but the music's still playing. That really struck a chord with me because it's like Camila is dead. Mm-hmm. But she's obviously some version of her, some like amount of her is still alive. Or seemingly alive. Through like this kind of like pre-recorded events that happened to her. But it's just all scrambled up in her head. That's kind of like my interpretation of that scene.
I feel it.
And yeah, I could put like, there's like lots of things I could like cherry pick throughout the movie. I'm sure that would like have like resonance to like this plot. But I don't have like any in-depth notes in front of me. But yeah, that's basically like my basic interpretation of the film.
Yeah, mine is pretty close. It feels like the first section of the film is Diane's dream. Like that's it's pretty much her fantasy because she at this point like she's still in love with Camilla, but she also like hates her.
Yes,
and she hates Adam just as much.
Yes,
I think there's a pretty big thing about Adam that like I don't know, but like. She wants to ruin his life just as much, so she invents a wife for him that's...
creates the shittiest timeline.
Yeah, but I think it's important to note that all the people in this that, like, fuck him over are blonde. Like, they look close to what Naomi Watts looks like. Like, his wife is blonde, and she cheats on him. The girl that he's forced to put in is and it's Camilla. She's erasing like what Camilla, who she really is, and she's making her look more like Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
Like he's just being fucked over because she feels like he fucked over her. because she wants this role. She makes herself in this dream like a much better actress than she was in real life.
Yeah.
And she makes Rita / Camilla like a much worse actress. Like when they do the scene together, she's like just fumbling all over herself. She also makes Rita like much, like she makes her super needy. Like she needs her. She has to rely on Betty, while Betty was probably closer to that. Like Diane was probably leaning on her too far. She just makes her completely dependent on her.
Yeah.
And she erases her like life pretty much, like with her memory, but also the thing that she makes her blonde. Like, she wants her to be the one that's in charge. That's what I mostly got from that. Like, it's just Naomi Watts. Everything's about her. No characters seem to have any agency on their own. That's why it feels like she's the only one that's really in control, unless someone's actively in this dream trying to like break it. Like Lorraine, I believe her name is, or the other woman in the apartment. There's one that shows up, and there's like the very first thing she says is, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm
Betty."
Betty.
She's like, "No, you're
no, you're not.
Yeah,
that's not your name."
That was another thing I had taken.
There was quite a few things on my second and third watch. I'm like,
yeah.
I thought it was just like a Lynch, like he's just like saying things, but I'm like,
Yeah. And then obviously the Winky scene is like the reference, like the dream.
Yeah, they're
scene
literally saying the dreams are like they're almost identical, but it's just different. Yeah. So my thing's the dream as well. I think that's pretty much the main interpretation a lot of people do, and then it's just little things they interpret a little differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is my jam. No. Yeah, but I really liked this movie. I like 25 minutes after I watched it the first time, like it had a delayed reaction, but I just suddenly like broke into tears. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It wasn't like right after. It was just like thinking about the movie. I was just like walking around. I like went into my bathroom. I looked at myself and then I just burst into tears. I'm like, ah!
Huh. Yeah. What did you think, Joe?
I mean, like, I don't have any, like, grand theory on it. I kept trying to think of, like, maybe different ways the story could have gone through. Like, instead of maybe it being focused on, you know, Naomi Watts' character, maybe it was, you know, from the perspective of Camilla, where, you know, she's doing good, but, you know, Diane is kind of dragging her through shit. Yeah. And kind of, she wants to make her feel bad, maybe like this is her own dream. And I'm like, nah, that doesn't really work, but like, my current stupid theory is like, maybe this is a movie. We're watching a movie in a movie. Because, like, the main thing that really struck with me was when we saw Adam auditioning girls. There was that whole shot of, like, you know, the choir in that sound booth, and then it slowly pulls out. And it's, you know, we're seeing them in a recording booth. It's not them on stage. Then we pull out even further. They're on a stage. Then we pull out even further. We see all the cast and crew around it. And I'm like, maybe this is a movie in a movie. And because there's a lot of weird things going on. Like I had mentioned this earlier, like I really like a lot of the grand story about this movie, but it's a lot of the little bits and pieces that I really like picking up. Like, how did the bum get the box? What significance does that hold? Who is the bum? Why do we care about these agents inside the Winky's Diner? Why are they there? You know, why is Gene there? You know, what significance does that hold? A lot of those minor things, you know, what do these things mean? They totally lend itself to the theory, but part of me is like, maybe it's something else, but I don't really know what, because I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
I think that scene with when Naomi Watts sees, like she goes to that audition and she sees him and her leaving in a rush. Because
it's her kind of, like, is realizing, like, oh, this guy.
Well, I think, yeah, and I think she, in some form of her subconscious, she knows that this is a dream. She knows that it's an illusion, and she feels like interacting with him might break it.
Yeah.
So she, like, leaves. Because she like, knows she has to be somewhere, but she has no sense of urgency until that one moment when she sees him, and then she's suddenly like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah. And then, obviously, I think we mentioned that we think that at least I think that the man in the back is supposed to be like a monstrous version of her.
Yeah, but I think when they're speaking about the man in the back, I think it's also talking about like David Lynch himself directing the film, like how he's the one that pulls all the strings. It's talking about the direction of a film.
Have you seen that famous picture from like behind the scenes where it's just David Lynch standing, like posing for a picture with that, like the person in that makeup?
I haven't.
It's pretty great. It's a pretty good image.
But and at the same time, I feel like Adam Kesher's just pretty much like David Lynch.
Oh yeah, because he's always had to deal with a lot of like
especially with like Dune and stuff and
Twin Peaks as well.
There's a bunch of studio
even though it was the best-selling show on television, they were like, no, you have to conform to what we want you to do and reveal.
And even the way he speaks, kind of sounds like David Lynch.
Yeah.
Like, what's the photo for?
Over-exaggerated and emphasis kind of nasally.
Yeah, so I feel like he's like a stand-in for him to have multiple layers of storytelling. Like, hey, here's what I got fucked over, but the main story is about Diane being like, this is my dream.
I have to tell the story because I think it's the origin for why David Lynch is like the supervillain of cell phones and cinema. So he's talking about...
I think I want to meet David Lynch and I'll be like, hey, can I show you like a really good film and have you watch something on it just to show you because...
But, so, he's talking about because this movie was originally made as a pilot.
For a television show
that was meant to be a kind of like spin-off spiritual success for... Yeah, don't talk while I'm trying to say the word. You messed me up again. Success for.
Yeah, success for.
Yeah, so, to Twin Peaks. And it was going to be like Twin Peaks, but in Hollywood. And I agree. I think that the movie turned out very well, but I still would have liked to see the TV show because I think it could have worked. And plus, I
haven't seen Twin Peaks as a show, so I need to see it to see how like the pacing works. But it's just I personally love like all the pacing in this movie, and I feel like having it be like more episodic, I feel like it might change things a little too much for my taste.
Yeah, but he was basically describing the process of presenting this pilot to the producers and why it got turned down. And he was saying it was because the producer who was watching it was like watching it from across the room, like the TV was across the room. He was standing up and he kept taking phone calls during it. So I think that might have a little, he's like, phones do nothing but ruin cinema. So
I would love to have him like sit down with somebody like Soderbergh or like Sean Baker.
Yeah, someone who like
who's made films on their like iPhone and stuff. I would just want like a talking circle with them. That'd be interesting.
It would be. They have those like filmmaker shows where
I've watched a couple recently, but Todd Phillips has been on. I'm like, Ron, it's Todd Phillips. Have you seen that interview with Todd? This isn't to do with anything, but there was when they had the circle with like Bong Joon-ho and Todd Phillips and Noah Baumbach, and Bong Joon-ho's like, "Hey, Todd, are you a chain smoker?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "You look like one."
Got him.
And then he tries to like save it. He's like, "Oh, 'cause you're so cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, right." Todd Phillips is cool.
Oh man.
No, but each watch of this improved my viewing experience. I feel like I'm going to watch it again this week for a fourth time. I feel like I'm going to watch this like 1,000 more times tomorrow. No,
it's a good movie.
I definitely want to watch it again and see what other things I can pick up because like immediately after I'm like, I don't know what I watched. And then London's like, okay, I got it. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I've always been good at, like, theorizing things. And, like, I love theorizing things. So I'm like, okay, here's what's going on. Like, the Always Sunny meme with the...
Yeah.
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia! That's me. It's always been me.
Day Bow Bow. What? There's not Day Bow Bow. Chicka chicka. God, I love fucking It's Always Sunny.
Oh.
All right, so...
Joe, what'd you give this movie?
I mean, 10. I loved it a lot. It was really well made, well
This
shot.
is going to be pretty ironic, but I'm going to stick with the score that I've had since the first time I watched it and give it the name.
See, I don't know if this is actually the score because I checked your other Letterboxd account.
Did I
Thomas Griffin?
I might have given it like 9 originally, but I think it sits more at an 8.
And I'm going to give this an 11 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 10.
So we're at 28 divided by 3. That's like 9.3.
9.33.
But good movie.
Fantastic.
Very
movie.
accessible if you haven't watched.
Very, very accessible. Whereas like Eraserhead, definitely not accessible in the way that this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have 2.5 hours to kill, I definitely recommend this. It also has some fucking great music. I love the soundtrack to this movie.
Yes.
Did he compose this one? I know he did like the composition for like Eraserhead and stuff.
No, it was Angelo, who is like they work together a lot.
Okay, because a lot of the sound and music felt very Lynchian. Like I think when they got back to the apartment right before they opened the box, I think
Angelo Badalamenti.
there was just like the sound of sounded like a pot being tapped constantly.
Yeah, he might have attributed to like some of the sound, but it was mostly Angelo. Angelo's like his regular.
Yeah, he did like the sound editing stuff, but the composer was Angelo, who did like Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, The Straight Story, Twin Peaks, Lost Highway. Did he die or something? No, he just didn't do The Return. I guess.
Yeah, I think they reused a lot of like his old music, and then
wow, he did The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, did he? Nice. Yeah, there's this funny. Once you guys watch Twin Peaks, there's this funny video where they talk about it's Angelo, and he talks about like the writing process for the main theme. Mm-hmm. Not the main theme of Twin Peaks, but like the main character's theme of Twin Peaks.
Gotcha.
And it's a pretty funny story, and he does a pretty good impression of David Lynch. He's, oh, Angelo, that's so beautiful. Keep playing, Angelo. But it's great. David Lynch is such a fucking character. I love him.
Keep playing.
Massive quantity. God damn it.
Massive quantities.
Oh,
man. Yeah. The sooner you watch Twin Peaks, the better. Because I would totally be down to rewatch Twin Peaks and do a Twin Peaks episode eventually.
Cool. I'm in.
Yeah? No,
Eventually we'll do our Mindhunter episode.
We'll do that soon.
No, I just caught up on Mindhunter.
Yeah, you can join for that one too. We'll probably do that maybe like February-ish. Because I've got to talk to you a little bit about the scheduling once we get here.
Thomas is quitting. I'm bringing...
We all know that Pierre was the secret second host of Screen Weens.
Well, Pierre's the shadow master pulling the strings on this operation.
Yeah, like half the time, like I feel like sometimes it's like, oh yeah, me and Pierre like picked a movie this week. It's like, what? Pierre. He's pulling the strings, forcing me to watch Runaway.
All right.
Okay, so what do you got your pick for next week?
Okay. It's a movie I watched this week, actually. Blackjack. That one's going to be leaving Criterion streaming here at the end of this month. Okay. So I thought this was a pretty opportune time to do it.
Is that 2 words?
I believe so. It's directed by Ken Loach.
Ken Loach, yes. Okay, cool.
It's like 1976, I think.
1979.
I had the 6 upside down.
You fool!
Yeah, so that's my pick for this week.
Okay, let me think. Let me think what I want to watch here.
Did Classmaster H? Nope.
No.
Okay.
She's coming, but she's like, yeah, you just pick. Okay. We're going to watch a movie by William Friedkin, who did, like, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
This one was in 2011, and it's called Killer Joe.
Okay. Joe?
You'll never find out if I actually did
It's available to stream for free on Tubi TV with ads.
Okay, great.
That came out in 2010, I think.
Then you just
2011. 2011. Oh, did I already say that?
Yeah.
I'm going crazy. I'm tired. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this long episode of Mulholland Drive featuring the Oscars and I guess some other movies.
Yeah, tell your grandma.
Tell your grandma.
Suck your grandma.
Whoa.
Beat up Joe!
Ah!